Chapter 1060. Senior Sister. Li Fan turned around and saw Lu Wan with her hair in a bun, dressed in sportswear, standing on the playground, looking at him. "Why are you here?" Lu Wan let her hair down and looked at Li Fan tenderly. "I heard that you took a long leave from school and went abroad with Shun Shun. Is Shun Shun back?" Li Fan asked quickly. "She's back." Lu Wan looked at Li Fan strangely. "You didn't know?" "Well, I separated from her when I was abroad." "Quarreled again?" "That's not it. Where is she now?" "She's busy looking for a new agency." Lu Wan smiled. She was terminated by her previous agency. The media reported that she didn't go to school and had a boyfriend. At present, her popularity is a bit low and it's not easy for her to survive. So, Li Fan roughly understood what was going on. It must be about her family. This time in Europe, Shun Shun's last value was squeezed out and then kicked away by the company. Not only that, in order to not leave a way out for Shun Shun, they deliberately created all kinds of negative public opinion in an attempt to suppress Shun Shun. This Shun family was really too much. They did not even leave a way out for their adopted daughter. "Why did you come back so late?" Lu Wan stretched out her hand and gently brushed the dust off Li Fan's shoulder. "Look at you. How did you end up in such a mess?" "I came back as a refugee." "You're talking nonsense again. These days when you were away, the club has been maintained well." Lu Wan reported to Li Fan. "I have to say that your Lin Yuhsan is indeed a talent in management. Usually, when practicing martial arts, everyone has made some progress with the Jiang sisters' guidance." "That's good." Li Fan was now a little unable to care about the club's affairs. At present, he was under a lot of pressure. "I've decided to let the sisters take care of the club's affairs." Li Fan thought for a moment. "I have a martial arts hall to run, and I have to continue to train my strength. After going to university, I don't seem to have time to go into seclusion anymore." Li Fan felt that his university life was a bit miserable. It seemed that it had to end before it even started. "Just go to class as usual." Lu Wan looked at Li Fan. "Do you feel that there isn't enough time? You can apply for a day student." "What does that mean?" Li Fan felt that the gentle senior seemed to have a way. "Well, I can still finish my homework if I'm a day student." Lu Wan explained. "As long as you have enough credits every semester, it will be fine. Generally speaking, schools do not allow students to be day students. However, I can help you apply for it. It should be settled." Senior sister is so powerful. Li Fan was a little surprised. Lu Wan actually had so much power in school. It's all right. I can still help you with this." Lu Wan laughed. "So when you need me, you can rely on me. I will try my best." "Well, but how can you go back to the dormitory if you come back so late?" Lu Wan looked at Li Fan. "If I hadn't happened to run at night and bumped into you, I'm afraid you could only sleep on the playground." I can also go out and live in a hotel. Your sportswear doesn't even have pockets. How can you live in a hotel?" Lu Wan looked at the extraordinary sword hanging on Li Fan's waist and the Shangfang sword on his back. "Are you going to rob a bank with these two guys?" Li Fan was indeed short of money now. He felt that he shouldn't go back to City G. He should directly go back to City A with Qinggong. However, City G was a little closer. If he went back to City A with Qinggong, he was afraid that he would be exhausted. "You seem to be quite tired. How about this? You stay at my place tonight." Lu Wan provided a place for Li Fan to stay. As the saying goes, one night and one meal. Lu Wan had already stayed for 2 nights. It's not good to sleep with senior sister twice." "What do you mean by sleeping with me twice?" Lu Wan, with her self-restraint, couldn't help punching Li Fan lightly. "Don't talk nonsense." I made a mistake casually." Li Fan was very embarrassed. How could he accidentally say what was on his mind? Don't do it again. Let's go." Lu Wan wiped the sweat on her forehead. "I'm also sweaty after running. It stinks. I need to go back and take a bath." "I want to take a bath too." Li Fan hadn't rested for a day and a night. He was busy rushing on the road, so he was extremely dirty. "Not together," Lu Wan immediately emphasized. Senior sister, when did I say together?" "You said it this time." Li Fan couldn't help laughing. Lu Wan blushed. She couldn't help reaching out and secretly pinching Li Fan's thigh. Li Fan felt very wronged. He obviously didn't have that intention this time. Luana no longer talked to Li Fan. She seemed to be a little angry as she walked along the path of the school toward the apartment building. "All right." Luana, who was walking in front, suddenly stopped. Li Fan almost bumped into her back. "What's wrong?" Li Fan was taken aback. At the same time, he felt a little regretful. "I suddenly remembered that there's a sex maniac roaming around the school recently." Luana reminded Li Fan. "I heard he's running around the school. When he sees a female student, he takes off his pants. It's very disgusting. You have to be careful, junior brother. I'm a guy. Why should I be afraid of him?" Li Fan couldn't help but roll his eyes. "Do you think he can have sex with me?" "I can't rule out that possibility." Luana nodded very seriously. Li Fan broke out in a cold sweat. "Let me tell you, I know a brother named Huang Lei. He's not here. If he's here, he can cut off that guy's dick." Li Fan couldn't help but think of Lei. This kind of person should be dealt with by Lei. "You're so dirty. You're dirtier." "It doesn't matter. I'm older than you. I can talk about some adult things." Luana winked at Li Fan. "How can you be like this?" Li Fan was speechless. At this time, a rustling sound came from the nearby bushes. Then, a figure appeared from behind the tree. He directly rushed toward Luana and pulled down his pants, revealing his crotch. Luana screamed and immediately hid behind Li Fan. "Fuck, you can't talk about people in the day, but you can't talk about ghosts at night." Li Fan laughed angrily. "You came just in time. I'll cut off your dick." "Boy, your luck with women is not shallow." The perverted man pulled up his pants and pulled out a butterfly knife. He waved it in his hand. "If you don't want to die, get out of my way. Let me have some fun with that girl." "Senior sister, you see, your beauty has made him commit crimes." Li Fan turned his head and winked at Luana. Chapter 1061. "If that's the case, then get out of my way." Seeing him put on his pants, Luana immediately felt relieved and said, "Let me do it." "Hee, you see how smart and proactive this girl is. You should learn from her." The perverted man immediately smiled, very satisfied with Luana's attitude. "Come, this grandpa will love you tenderly." Seeing Luana walking toward him, the perverted man happily smiled. Luana also gave him a smile, then stretched out her hand and gently placed it on the perverted man's shoulder. Just as the perverted man licked his lips, Luana suddenly tightened her fingers. "Ouch!" The perverted man screamed as a sharp pain came from his shoulder. Luana pinched his acupuncture point and at the same time kicked his crotch with her leg. The perverted man screamed again and again while Luana clapped her hands. "Okay, clean up. Should we call the police?" "Too troublesome." Luana shook her head. "Moreover, calling the police is too easy on him. He should receive a more severe punishment." "Ah, senior sister, what do you want to do?" "How about this?" 10 minutes later, a man wearing only underwear was hung on the school building. On his body were several big words, "Perverted Exhibitionist." "Okay, this will do." Luana looked at her work with satisfaction. Li Fan stood at the side with cold sweat on his forehead. This usually gentle senior sister is too scary at this moment. If I want to punish someone in the future, I can ask senior sister to help me think of a way. Let's go back. Luana then left with Li Fan. The two of them returned to the student dormitory. "I feel much better after taking a bath." Luana walked out of the bathroom with a bath towel wrapped around her hair, wearing loose home clothes and a body full of fragrance. She stood in front of Li Fan and stretched her waist. So comfortable. Looking at Luana's beautiful figure, Li Fan couldn't control his desire. At this time, a man's sexual desire is the easiest to overcome his reason. In Li Fan's mind, there's only one thought. Push her down. "Damn it, Li Fan. Li Fan, what are you thinking?" Li Fan hurriedly and secretly pinched his thigh to sober up a little. "I still have to thank you, junior brother." Luana took a bottle of my dong and walked over. She sat beside Li Fan and handed the bottle to him. "If it weren't for you, I would have definitely been taken advantage of if I had encountered such a pervert. Girls should learn some self-defense skills." Li Fan turned on the pulse. "Especially ancient martial arts. It's not like they'll let girls train until they're all muscles. Thinking of Murong Ying's beautiful figure, Li Fan couldn't help but feel nostalgic. Sometimes he really wanted to see Murong Ying in a Chong Sam standing in front of him again. Taiju was busy cooking for them in the kitchen, and Murong was sitting on the sofa next to him, watching a Korean TV series episode by episode. Unfortunately, the two of them had an ill-fated relationship. Perhaps they would never return to that time. People must look forward. Li Fan took out the Shangfang sword and the extraordinary sword and placed them on the table next to him. Are these your weapons? Lu Wana walked past Li Fan's body. She was practically lying on Li Fan's body, observing the two different weapons. This one seems to be an antique. It's a bit old. Lu Wana was very interested in antiques. She was lying there with her buttocks raised. Because she had just taken a shower, Lu Wana was wearing a comfortable shirt on her upper body and a short skirt on her lower body. Her hair also had the delicate fragrance of shampoo. It mischievously entered Li Fan's nose, evoking his feelings. This sword is at least from before the Ming dynasty. Lu Wana carefully examined the sword. She was too confident in Li Fan that she had forgotten that this kind of ambiguous posture was a challenge to a man's bottom line. Why do you have such an antique? You seem to have taken good care of it. Lu Wana seemed to want to pick it up to take a look, but this Shangfang sword was incomparably heavy. Lu Wana was not paying attention and directly laid on top of Li Fan's body. That soft chest was pressing on Li Fan's wrist, causing his heart to beat faster. This is really a terrifying challenge. Li Fan forced himself to maintain his rationality. He did not want to lose to the terrifying desire. Two little people appeared in front of Li Fan. One had wings, and the other had tail. Push her down, the little devil urged Li Fan. In any case, there is no one else here. This is a great opportunity. Don't forget to wear a condom. The little angel reminded himself. Li Fan felt that he was already hopeless. His hand could touch the space under Lu Wana's skirt at any time. That place must be mysterious and soft. I am sorry. Li Fan adjusted his state of mind and wanted to extricate himself from Lu Wana's body. However, Lu Wana directly flipped over and laid comfortably in Li Fan's embrace. I didn't expect that your embrace would be so comfortable. Lu Wana laid on top of Li Fan's body and looked at her junior, who was somewhat dumbfounded. Why? Do you really want to chase me away from this position? And no, you are nervous. Lu Wana looked at Li Fan and smiled warmly. It was unknown why she was smiling. You little girl, you're really, who are you calling lass? I am your senior. You brat who doesn't know manners. Lu Wana stretched out her hand and tried to grab Li Fan's nose. Hey, how can you pinch your nose? Don't you often pinch Jiang Yuan's nose? She is younger than me. You are also younger than me. As she spoke, Lu Wana continued to pinch Li Fan's nose. This little girl really doesn't want to admit defeat. Senior sister, what the hell do you want? I'm just tired. I want to find someone to lean on for a while. Lu Wana comfortably leaned on Li Fan with a somewhat satisfied expression. Li Fan felt that she was especially like a contented kitten. Well, your embrace is indeed very comfortable. Although I can't lean on it often, I can use it temporarily. I'm not a sofa. What do you mean by use? It is originally just for use. Lu Wana emphasized, boys are originally tools to be used. Tools? Yes, because men can't be trusted and can only be used as tools, which is much safer. Lu Wana spoke from the bottom of her heart. Girls are better. They won't hurt you. Hey. If you think that way, it is easy to become a lesbian, right? What's wrong with being a lesbian? Isn't it still very happy? As long as you are happy, it is fine. Lu Wana muttered, my current principle is to enjoy myself while I am happy. Then you can enjoy yourself while you are with me. Li Fan had another crooked idea in his mind. Chapter 1062. At such a close distance, Lu Wana's temperature and body fragrance were clearly transmitted to Li Fan's sensory world, stimulating his heartbeat. This Lu Wana was simply a little devil. She was usually so gentle, but at this moment, she was so charming and attractive. Even though Li Fan had seen all kinds of big scenes, he was the kind of person who walked among flowers without being touched by a single leaf. But under this kind of pressure from Lu Wana, he kind of wanted to give in. Lu Wanner, Lu Wanner. This woman was a bit awesome. Even Li Fan began to admire Lu Wanner, which showed how awesome she was. Especially when he heard that Lu Wanner wanted to be a lesbian. The first thought in Li Fan's mind was to let Lu Wanner know what a man's strengths and weaknesses were. To fill a woman's big hole, only a man could do it. No, it was too vulgar to call it a big hole. It should be called a gap. A man could fill a woman's gap. That was right. Li Fan was thinking whether he should fill Lu Wanner's gap or not. This seems to be a matter of merit. Forget it. I'm not a person who cultivates merit. Let's put this matter aside for now. What are you thinking about? Looking at Li Fan, Lu Wanner suddenly asked. I'll give you 10 yuan to buy your idea. Is my idea worth 10 yuan? Li Fan did not know whether to laugh or cry. It's already very affordable. This is a friendship price. Lu Wanner rolled her eyes. How much do you want? How about 5 yuan? If you give me 250 yuan, my death will be worth it. Hee, in your dreams, I won't. Lu Wanner refused Li Fan's request. Li Fan sighed. It seems that Lu Wanner is getting more and more awesome. This girl will be awesome in the future. Senior sister, you are so smart and cunning. How about helping me manage the martial arts club? Li Fan had some ideas, so he took the opportunity to ask. Li Fan, actually there's one thing. Lu Wanner had been hesitating about whether or not she should tell Li Fan that she was going abroad. She pondered for a long time and decided not to tell Li Fan. If I tell Li Fan, what if he starts to drift away from me? I better not tell him. For now, I'll just go with what he wants. Even Lu Wanner didn't know that Li Fan had become so important in her heart at some point in time. Anyway, I don't know what to do when I'm interning. Lu Wanner readily agreed. It's good to help you. Thank you, senior sister. Li Fan was happy. Lu Wanner was so smart, gentle, and meticulous. If she could help him, she would definitely be a great help. But you're hugging a beautiful girl, but all you're thinking about is work? Ah, then senior sister, what should I think about? Li Fan asked subconsciously. How would I know? Lu Wanner laughed. Why don't junior brother tell me what you should be thinking about? Then I'll say what I think. Senior sister won't be angry with me, right? Li Fan suddenly asked. How could that be? Senior sister really wants to know. Li Fan felt that he couldn't win against Lu Wanner. Thinking about it carefully, none of the girls he knew were easy to deal with. Each and every one of them had a sharp tongue, but his mouth was the stupidest. I'm going to take a bath. Li Fan felt that it was better to escape as soon as possible. If this continued, he couldn't guarantee that he wouldn't make a mistake. I'll let you go. Lu Wanner's words made Li Fan finally relieved. He knew that this woman was torturing him. Thank you, senior sister. Li Fan cupped his hands toward Lu Wanner. This student is very grateful. I'm willing to compensate with my body. Come on. Lu Wanner looked at Li Fan provocatively. What do you really want to do? Do you dare? Li Fan didn't say anything and obediently went to take a bath. After several days of tiredness and dust, Li Fan washed his body properly, washing away the fatigue on his body. Li Fan stood under the shower, enjoying the hot water. He also had time to quietly digest the recent events. Demon Island, Magic Association, Shangfang Sword, Liao Ju, and the betrayal of Yu Shi. In less than a month, the changes were too great. Li Fan was a little emotional. If he had a choice, he would still want to return to the past. He would rather Yu Shi was still a blackguard of the Imperial Secret Service, silently guarding him. Yu Shi had once said that she liked him. Was that a lie as well? Li Fan couldn't help but laugh at himself. It seemed that he was always being deceived by women. It seemed that he had to be more careful when dealing with women in the future. He shook his head and dispelled some useless thoughts. Then he wiped his body clean and walked to the outer compartment. There was a clean white martial arts uniform in the basket beside him. This was the uniform that Lu Wanner had prepared for him. It was the uniform of the society. It was a white pure cotton uniform. It was loose and comfortable, with the Martial Arts Society's logo printed on it. On the back of the uniform was a picture of a tyrant subduing a tiger. This was specially added by Lu Wanner based on Li Fan's tattoo. After all, it was the iconic tattoo of the little tyrant. Li Fan put on the martial arts uniform. Lu Wanner was standing in the living room, seemingly busy with something. Senior, what are you doing? Li Fan looked at Lu Wanner's hot figure. Even the ordinary home clothes could not hide her slim and beautiful figure. Don't you have class tomorrow? Second year is much easier. Lu Wanner smiled sweetly. Besides, how could a junior who often skips class have the nerve to ask me? Li Fan wanted to cry a little. This girl was starting to mock him again. Senior, you're a senior after all. Why are you teasing me like this? How am I teasing you? Lu Wanner refused to admit it. I'm encouraging you to improve. You should be thanking me. Thank you for your encouragement. I'm so touched that my eyes are brimming with tears. Li Fan was helpless. Then I'll leave you to your work. I'm going to sleep. Needless to say, he would still have to sleep on the sofa. Are you in a hurry to sleep? Lu Wanner took out 2 cocktails that she had mixed herself. Let's have a drink and chat. Li Fan was stunned for a moment. Lu Wanner actually wanted to drink with him? Aren't you afraid of getting drunk? How could I get drunk if I get drunk? Lu Wanner corrected Li Fan. It should be said that alcohol is an aphrodisiac. Just a little bit will make you tipsy, but it will increase your courage. Then, Senior, are you trying to increase your courage? No, I'm trying to increase your courage. Lu Wanner winked at Li Fan, causing Li Fan to blush. Senior, if you keep testing me like this, I won't be able to bear it. Chapter 1063. What kind of test is this? Lu Wanner charmingly laughed. Later, when you start working, you'll find that there are more tests. She looked at Li Fan and suddenly asked, Do you want to try it? Yeah. Try what? Li Fan froze for a moment. Let's see if you can withstand a real test. How about it? Lu Wanner said, slightly licked her lips, and then walked toward Li Fan with a glass of wine. Senior sister, what do you want? If I am your female boss and I want to do the unspoken rules with you, what would you do? Yeah, wear a condom. Li Fan very seriously replied. Lu Wanner was so angry that she rolled her eyes. What nonsense are you talking about? I am testing you, not asking you how to cooperate with me. I am your female boss. I want to do the unspoken rules with you. With such a beautiful female boss like you want to do the unspoken rules with me, I am more than happy. Li Fan mischievously smiled. Remember to be gentle. Humph, I can see that you are not firm at all. Lu Wanner fiercely glared at Li Fan. You should find a woman to ruthlessly punish you. Aya, this is difficult. Li Fan spread out his hands. I don't even know if I can find a suitable woman to marry in the future. Your temper is really difficult. Lu Wanner carefully looked at Li Fan. How about I teach you how to properly treat a girl? Do I still need to teach you? Li Fan was a little strange. Could it be that the way I treated girls before was wrong? Wrong, a big mistake. Lu Wanner bluntly said, You are not gentle to girls at all. Hey, is that so? Li Fan was very puzzled. I have never been fierce to girls. You see, like you, Shun Shun, Jiang Yuan Yuan, I regard you as good friends. This is the most annoying part about you. Wrong, all wrong. Lu Wanner emphasized between boys and girls. There is no such thing as pure friendship. Huh? Li Fan was stunned for a moment. That makes sense. Of course. Lu Wanner did not have the slightest bit of doubt towards her own point of view. Those who use the pure friendship between a man and a woman to talk about it are just deceiving themselves while stealing a bell. Li Fan felt that what Lu Wanner said was quite right. The fact that you're close to these girls means one thing in itself. You like them and you want to be close to them. I don't think so. All right, let me give you an example. Lu Wanner stretched out a finger. Suppose one day, Lin Yixin or I have a new boyfriend. Every day, we accompany our boyfriends, being lovey-dovey with each other. Are you happy? Lu Wanner's words stunned Li Fan for a moment. He really didn't know how to answer this question. It would be a lie to say that he didn't mind. If he said that he cared, wouldn't that be admitting that he liked those girls? After Li Fan hesitated for a moment, he suddenly felt that he was being a little petty. Wang Luo and Mu Rong-ing both said that it was difficult for him to achieve great things with his state of mind. Li Fan felt that this was his weakness. Li Fan suddenly realized something. He immediately cut off his pretense and bluntly said, That's right. I like these girls, and I also like you, senior sister. Li Fan kept on answering. Lu Wanner, who originally wanted to continue to tease him, didn't know what to say. This is my instinct as a man. I don't want to refute it. Li Fan became direct. I will probably leave China in the future and live on an island. If you can accept it, you can come live with me on the island. You're so greedy. Lu Wanner couldn't help but scold Li Fan. This is not greed. This is facing my heart. Li Fan sat on the sofa. Holding a glass of wine, he smiled. At that moment, Lu Wanner felt that Li Fan seemed to have changed a lot. He seemed to have matured a lot. Obviously, the things he said to a woman were so unforgivable. Lu Wanner felt that she was also very cheap. Many men said sweet words to her and doted on her, but she was dismissive. And this Li Fan was bad. He didn't have her in his heart, but she wanted to be close to him. People really wanted what they didn't have. But Lu Wanner didn't know how to change this. Liking someone was very hard to change. Just like her ex-boyfriend. Even if he was fickle once, Lu Wanner still forgave him. Until he couldn't be saved, and even married another woman. She finally completely gave up. And Li Fan's charm was obviously stronger than him. Li Fan was able to let it go, but Lu Wanner was not so easy to let it go. Lu Wanner, enjoy yourself, she said to herself in her heart. Senior sister, what are you thinking about? Don't you think I'm bad? Li Fan asked with a smile. Yes, you're too bad, Lu Wanner said without hesitation. I'm bad. I don't think I'm bad. Li Fan frankly said, is it wrong for me to like girls? I just like them, but I didn't do anything to them. Yes, you didn't do anything, but Lu Wanner hesitated. It's because of your inaction that many girls were hurt. I cannot do anything. Li Fan pondered for a moment. Then, senior sister, what do you think I should do to make them happy? As the saying goes, it's better to get the pain over with. You should choose someone you like. Lu Wanner immediately said, it's because you don't have a woman you like. That's why you give them unnecessary hope, making them reluctant to leave you. If this goes on, it won't be good for anyone. Let's talk about it on that day. Li Fan indifferently shrugged his shoulders. When the boat comes to the bridgehead, it'll straighten out. AI, you're like this. It's not good. Lu Wanner sighed. What's the matter, senior sister? Do you want to be my girlfriend? Li Fan asked with a smile. Hey, even if you're a junior brother, it's rude of you to ask like this. Lu Wanner reminded Li Fan. Senior sister is also not doing anything. Li Fan winked at Lu Wanner, making Lu Wanner speechless. Just a moment ago, she had the upper hand, but now it was Li Fan who had the upper hand. Okay. Let's not talk anymore. Go to sleep. Lu Wanner admitted defeat. Then good night, senior sister. Li Fan was about to sleep when suddenly there was a sound of a key being turned outside the door. Lu Wanner's face immediately turned pale, and she pulled Li Fan. Quick, go to my room. Chapter 1064. Li Fan also heard the movement outside. He subconsciously turned his head to look at the door. Hurry up, it's Shun Chun. Shun Chun is Shun Chun. What are you afraid of? Before he finished speaking, he was dragged upstairs by Lu Wanner. If Shun Chun sees you spending the night with me, it's over. She'll definitely misunderstand. Lu Wanner was very nervous, as if the two of them were really having an affair. Hurry up, otherwise I'll hate you. Lu Wanner saw that Li Fan did not want to move and stomped her feet in anger. Okay, I'll go upstairs. Li Fan had no choice but to obediently go upstairs and was stuffed in his room by Lu Wanner. Wanner, you're not asleep yet? Lu Wanner had just stuffed Li Fan into the room when Shun Chen's voice came from downstairs. Shun, why are you back? Lu Wanner rushed downstairs and said, there's nothing to be busy these days. You know, I've been unemployed recently. Shun Chen laughed self-deprecatingly. Those people have no taste and don't like me. I can't do anything about it. Don't be discouraged. Lu Wanner advised. This is not like you, Shun Chun. I'll look again. Shun Chen nodded, but I can study at school in peace. This is also a benefit. You must be tired. Take a shower and go to sleep. Lu Wanner was worried about Li Fan, and she could not deal with Shun Chun. Then I'll go take a shower. Shun Chen nodded and turned to the bathroom. Lu Wanner was relieved and walked into the room. She saw Li Fan sitting on a chair, bored to death, fiddling with a picture album. Lu Wanner's face immediately turned red. It was a photo she had taken in the past. There were a lot of very revealing photos. I didn't expect you to be so wild in the past. Li Fan pointed to a photo of a sexy wildcat. Lu Wan was wearing a Catwoman's leather jacket and pants. There was even a cat tail on the pants. It was very realistic. If one didn't know better, they would really think that Lu Wan was a cat demon. I know how you put your cat ears on, but how did you put your cat tail on? Li Fan felt a little strange. Give it to me. Lu Wan snatched the photo album from Li Fan's hand. Who let you look at it? Hateful. It's quite pretty. What's there to be shy about? Li Fan couldn't help but laugh. But you didn't seem to be very obedient before. There are a lot of photos of you wearing a motorcycle suit. Who hasn't had a few years of brain damage? Lu Wan angrily looked at Li Fan. You're being very rude. What's wrong? Did our gentle senior sister mess around before? Lu Wan pouted and looked at Li Fan with dissatisfaction. You like to investigate people's past so much. Do you want to become a police officer? Police work doesn't suit me. Li Fan thought of the Shang Fong sword. Maybe I will try to become a profession that is more mysterious than being a police officer. Lu Wan was obviously not happy that Li Fan saw the photos that she didn't want others to know about. She was angry with him tonight, more than all the previous times combined. Don't tell me you don't have any shameful past. I really don't, Li Fan proudly said. I have always been open and above board. There's nothing shameful about it. Oh, really? Lu Wan laughed. I think that Murong's relationship with you is not ordinary. When you and Murong Ying were in love, didn't you two do anything wrong to your fiancé? Cough, cough. Li Fan dryly coughed twice. He thought that this Lu Wan should be a detective. She can even solve a case like this. She's really awesome. What's wrong? Not talking anymore? Lu Wan raised her eyebrows and looked at Li Fan. The weather tonight is not bad. It's cloudy. What's so good about it? Lu Wan rolled her eyes at Li Fan. Didn't you just say that you're magnanimous? I just made some mistakes that all men make. Che, you men always say that. Let's not talk about this. Why don't we sit down and look at the photos? It can improve our relationship. Go to hell. You can sleep on the floor. Lu Wan pointed at the floor and then added, I'll help you lay a blanket. I won't let you catch a cold. Senior sister is still quite gentle. Li Fan looked at Lu Wan, who was lying on the floor with her buttocks raised. In order to resist his desire, he changed the topic and asked, How did you learn bad things in the past? How can this be called bad things? Lu Wan emphasized, I was just rebellious for a while. At that time, when I was living in America, I met a group of bikers and hung out with them for a while. It's hard to imagine. It's really inconceivable. Li Fan was a little surprised. Senior sister could hang out with the bikers? Take a look at this. Lu Wan took out a photo. In it, she was wearing a black gothic motorcycle suit, riding on a handsome Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Beside her was a blonde man with a nose ring and earrings hugging her. Li Fan was speechless for a long time. What's wrong with you? Is this your boyfriend? Nonsense, this is my bestie. Lu Wan pointed at him and said, He's gay. And I was also gay at that time. Huh? What huh? This fully proves that my choice at that time was right. Lu Wan gently poked Li Fan's forehead with her finger. Go to sleep, dishonest man. If I'm not honest, I'll push you down. Li Fan retorted. Yes. You're good. Lu Wan stretched out her hand and helped Li Fan to remove the hair on the corner of his mouth. This gentle action, the focused gaze, and the snow-white skin revealed by the collar, could not help but attract Li Fan. This woman, the lethality of every frown and smile, was too great. All right, how could you be so careless and touch something? Lu Wan clapped her hands. Go to sleep. You're not allowed to attack me at night. I'll try my best. Li Fan winked at Lu Wan. I'll beat you up. Lu Wan waved her small fist. Just as the two of them were about to sleep, there was a sudden knock on the door. Lu Wan was shocked, but her next action was simply beyond human. She clamped her legs and directly clamped Li Fan, who was lying on the floor, and threw him and the blanket on her bed. Then, Lu Wan quickly covered Li Fan with her blanket. At the same time, she sat on the bed and threw a few big dolls onto the bed. I knew you haven't slept yet. Shin walked in with only a towel wrapped around her Just in time, I wanted to have a heart-to-heart talk with you. Chapter 1065. This is not very convenient. Seeing Shun-Chin walk in with a towel wrapped around her, Luana was so nervous that she quickly covered herself with a blanket. What's not convenient? Didn't you not sleep? Shun-Chin spoke while wiping her hair. She still had the scent of shower gel on her body, making Luana feel very embarrassed. Hiding Li Fan under the blanket. If this matter was discovered, she would not be able to show her face in school in the future. I have a lot on my mind recently, so I came to talk to you. You won't find me annoying, right? How could I? Luana quickly shook her head. I'm just a little sleepy. Strange. I've never seen you sleep so early before. Shinshan was a little puzzled, then asked half-jokingly, Don't tell me you're hiding a man under the blanket. Let me see. What are you doing? Luana was so nervous that she stopped Shinshan in a panic. Shinshan was careless, and the towel on her upper body slipped down, revealing the wonderful content underneath. You should pay attention. Luana quickly pulled the towel over Shinshan. You're a girl. How can you be so careless? Don't you usually see everything? Why are you so shy today? Shinshin could not help but laugh. Is there someone in your heart? What nonsense are you talking about? You only know how to tease me. Luana tried to suppress her panic. It's not easy to come back. Why don't you take a good rest and go back to sleep? Hey. If you chase me away like this, I should really suspect that you're hiding a man. Shinshan pouted discontentedly. I'm not happy, so I want to talk to you. It's my fault I'm too sleepy. Luana gently patted her cheek. Okay, I'm refreshed, let's talk. Well, that's more like it. Shinshin nodded with satisfaction, leaning on Luana. I'm a little tired recently, really. Listening to Shun-Chin's tired voice, Luana felt a little distressed, but Li Fan, who was covered under the blanket, was a little anxious. Fuck, it's the middle of the night. What's there to talk about? It was really hot and stuffy here. Li Fan could only temporarily use the tortoise breathing technique to forcibly suppress his desire to breathe and wait for the two of them to finish talking. A girl's chat should be quick. After all, it's already so late. Li Fan felt an itch in his hand. He moved slightly and touched something soft. He couldn't help but pinch it. It felt really good. Luana, who was sitting there, suddenly exclaimed, what happened? Shinshan was startled and hurriedly asked, No, nothing. I just remembered that I left my water heater on. When did we turn off the water heater? Shinshan felt a little strange. Recently, we've been promoting environmental protection. Luana quickly made up an excuse. It's okay. I'm going to take a shower tomorrow morning anyway. Shinshin held Luana's hands. Recently, I've been a little depressed. Luana endured the strange hands on her buttocks as she forced a smile. You can continue. Shun complained to Luana about the recent matters. These few days, she had been looking for a new management company, but none of them were willing to sign her. In this case, it wouldn't take long for Shun to fade out of everyone's sight. Why don't we not be a star? Luana asked. We could do some other jobs. She suggested. Your image is not bad. Being a flight attendant is not bad. Flight attendant? This lady disdains to serve others. Shun curled her lips. No way. Otherwise, do you still want to be a princess? Luana couldn't help but mutter. Look at the time. You're still not willing to give up. Of course I can't give up. Shun emphasized. I can't just admit defeat like this. Without the help of my family, I can't do it myself. For the first time, Shun was so determined. I want to prove that I'm not their puppet. And, if you put it that way, I should support you. Luana thought for a moment. She had already begun to ignore Li Fan's lecherous hands. This guy, taking advantage of the situation, I'll deal with him later. Where's his hand reaching? That's not good. Luana's face suddenly turned red. Shinshin asked, Waner, what's wrong? No, nothing. It's a little hot. Luana gently clamped her legs. Maybe the room is a little hot. Really, such a hot day. Turn on the air conditioner. Shinshin picked up the remote control and turned on the air conditioner. But Luana's body became even hotter. Her face was faintly emitting heat. Are you sick? Shinshin asked. No. Lu Wanner shook her head and then sat down hard, pressing down Li Fan's disturbing hands. Let's continue talking about your matters. I'm preparing. Um, ah, I, I'm going to help you open a management company. Shin Shun was a little surprised. You actually want to open a management company? Yes. Lu Wanner seemed to have recovered a little, but her face was still a little red. In order to let you recover as soon as possible, this is the only way. But will your family agree? Don't you only have 2 years left? So you have to hurry. Lu Wanner said in her heart, I'm not asking you to hurry, you bastardly fan. Will it work? Shin Shun was a little doubtful. It will work. Lu Wanner nodded. Before I return to China, I helped my family run a company. What I lack now is a little startup capital. I intend to borrow some. Borrow from whom? Zhonghua. Lu Wanner screamed again. I don't want that bastard's help. Shin Shun shook his head without hesitation. Let him go to hell. Then who else can I borrow from? Lu Wanner was worried. From Li Fan. Him? Lu Wanner was a little surprised. Yes, that's him. Shin Shun nodded desperately. Don't look down on him. He's very rich. That seems to be earned by him through hard work. As long as our company is run well, he can still make money. Shin Shun said, It's not like we're swindling his money. What's there to be afraid of? That's true. Now that your voice has recovered, if the album sells well, we can indeed make money. Lu Wanner nodded. That's indeed a way to make money. Yes, you see, I'm so good. If there's money, it's all earned by everyone. Looking at Shun Shin's proud look, Lu Wanner laughed along with her. All right, then let's stop talking here. It's too late. I won't disturb your sleep. Let's continue talking tomorrow. Chapter 1066. Shun Shin finally left. Lu Wanner quickly stood up, lifted the quilt, and straddled Li Fan's body, her hands clutching Li Fan's neck. You bastard. You dare to disrespect me. I'll kill you. How did I disrespect you? Li Fan pretended to be stupid. My hands were a little itchy just now, so I casually moved. Did I touch anything, dear senior sister? You definitely did it on purpose. Lu Wanner's eyes were a little tearful. I haven't been touched by anyone. Then I did touch you. What about it? Li Fan grabbed Lu Wanner, pulled her into his arms, and pressed her against his chest. Lu Wanner was now lying on Li Fan's body, with her legs spread apart, lying on Li Fan's body in an extremely ambiguous position. Her body softened, feeling that she had no strength at all, and could only feel Li Fan's strong heartbeat. Li Fan did not speak at all. He hugged Lu Wanner and directly kissed her mouth. Lu Wanner had just been heartbroken not long ago, and Li Fan took the opportunity to fill the gap in her heart. This kiss of his had melted Lu Wanner's heart. Enjoy yourself. In any case, the life I want in the future is not the life I want. Why not these 2 years? Just be happy with him. These 2 years. Please be good to me. No matter how many women Li Fan liked, she only had 2 years anyway. At this moment, Lu Wanner was ready to throw caution to the wind. Li Fan did not understand what she meant, but he was now like a clockwork machine, uncontrollably ready to start. As he kissed Lu Wanner, he stretched out his hands, displaying a man's ability to do 2 things at the same time, constantly wandering around Lu Wanner's body. Lu Wanner's body became hotter and hotter. After all, Shun Shun was still in the next room. The more she thought about it, the more excited she became. The 2 of them rolled around on the bed, and the foreplay gradually entered the main scene. After all, it was Lu Wanner's first time, and it was Li Fan's second time. Therefore, he was very patient and slowly stroked Lu Wanner, letting her relax. When Li Fan slowly entered Lu Wanner, she bit her lips and hugged Li Fan tightly. Both of them had tasted the forbidden fruit for the first time, and they soon became addicted. The 2 of them fought from the bed to the floor, beside the window, in front of the computer table, and even made Lu Wanner lie on the wall between her and Shun Shin's room, engaging in an exciting and intense 2-person exercise. He didn't rest for the entire night. When she got up the next day, Lu Wanner could not get out of bed. Li Fan covered her with the quilt. Looking at her beautiful and tired face, Li Fan couldn't help but reach out and gently touch her cheek. Mm. Lu Wanner softly snorted, then slightly opened her eyes. She used one hand to block the sunlight from the side. That lazy look made Li Fan want to go wild and have another round. Don't. Lu Wanner reached out and gently pushed Li Fan away. It hurts. My throat is dry. I want to drink water. Okay, I'll go get some water for you. Li Fan lovingly touched Lu Wanner's head. Senior sister, wait for me. He went to the side to pour a glass of water for Lu Wanner, then walked over to help Lu Wanner up and feed her water. Don't, Lu Wanner softly whined. I want you to feed me. Okay. Li Fan couldn't do anything about her. He drank a mouthful of water and then fed it to Lu Wanner. Lu Wanner seemed to enjoy it very much. After drinking the water, she comfortably closed her eyes and lay on the bed, like a kitten. It was said that women were like cats and men were like dogs. It seemed like that was really the case. You don't have class today? I want to sleep in. Lu Wanner nodded. You go to class by yourself. Okay, then go to sleep. Li Fan couldn't wash up here. The bathroom was downstairs, and Shun Shun was still there. Go ahead and wash up, Lu Wanner reminded Li Fan. Shun Shun won't wake up until noon. There's a new toothbrush in the bathroom cabinet. Just use my toiletries. They're all gray. The pink one is Shun Chen's. Don't use it wrongly. Got it. Li Fan then went out with a peace of mind and tiptoed to the bathroom downstairs. As Lu Wanner said, Shun Shun was still sleeping. The living room was quiet, and there was no movement at all. Li Fan breathed a sigh of relief. He began to wash his face and brush his teeth. The towel still had Lu Wanner's fragrance on it. It smelled very comfortable. Wanner, you're up so early. Do you have class today? Shin Shin's voice suddenly came from outside the door. Li Fan was shocked. Fuck, how did this woman wake up? Didn't she say that she wouldn't get up until noon? Li Fan quickly closed the bathroom door and locked it. Wanna? Shun Shin tugged at the door, but it didn't budge. Wanna? Why did you lock the door? What are you doing? Shun Shin's voice kept ringing outside. I got up early to talk to you about the agency. Open the door. Shin Shun kept banging on the door. Li Fan couldn't do anything about it. He finished washing up and opened the door. Shun Shin happened to bump into Li Fan. At this time, Shun Shun was only wearing a black camisole and lace panties, revealing a pair of long legs. Moreover, she was not wearing any underwear. Under the camisole, 2 points were faintly protruding, which was very eye-catching. Ah! Shun Shun let out a scream. Why are you here? Wanner asked me to come. Li Fan took a good look at her. She said it was to discuss the agency. He admired himself for being able to make up such an awesome excuse. He was really a talent. Li Fan really wanted to kowtow to himself in front of the mirror, but he held back. Now was not the time to be arrogant. He had to be low-key. Oh, right. Shin Shin suddenly realized. It seems like that's what happened. Yeah, I just went to the bathroom and heard you banging on the door. It scared me. Li Fan pretended to be scared. I even held back my urine. Come on. How can you be scared? What kind of person are you, Li Fan? Shin Shin knew Li Fan's strength like the back of her hand. Huh? Li Fan was a little surprised. According to what Wang Luo told him on the boat, he should have brainwashed Shin Shun. The brainwashing this time should make Shun Shun forget what happened in London. This was also a kind of protection for her. But how could she still remember? This was impossible. Are you wondering why I still remember? Shin Shun suddenly laughed, which made Li Fan a little flustered. He was flustered, mainly because he was worried that Shun Shun would find out that he had been looking at her exposed spots. This girl, it seemed like she didn't remember that she was wearing so little. Because, Shin Shun cried out in surprise again. Chapter 1067. Shin Shun screamed again. Li Fan retracted his gaze. What are you doing? Pervert. Shin Shun seemed to have finally come to her senses and remembered the unique clothes she was wearing. After she screamed, she wanted to slap Li Fan. But what kind of person was Li Fan? How did he take this? He took a step back and dodged Shun Chen's hand. But at this moment, the bucket next to him suddenly flew up and hit Li Fan's head, but he caught it in his hand. Huh? Li Fan felt a little strange. Was this telekinesis? You see, this is the situation. Shen Shun wrapped the bath towel around her body and said, "Now as long as I get emotional, this will happen." Telekinesis? I don't know. Anyway, I felt that I forgot something in my mind last time. After a headache, I remembered this thing. Is that so? Li Fan thought for a moment. It seemed that when the devil left Shun Shun, he left a part of his power in her body. Li Fan only hoped that the power he left behind was not too much, so as not to affect Shen Shun too much. When you're emotionally calm, will there be telekinesis? Li Fan asked. No, it's usually very quiet. Shen Shun shook her head. No different from an ordinary person. Don't think too much. You're an ordinary person. Li Fan hurriedly said. It's just a slightly abnormal power. Don't take it to heart. If I don't take this kind of thing to heart, then how big of a heart do I have? Anyway, just keep your emotions calm. This is the most difficult thing for me. Shen Shun was particularly unhappy. Okay, Miss Shun, aren't we here to talk about the agency? Li Fan glanced upstairs. After I arrived, I found that senior sister hasn't woken up yet. I guess she'll sleep until noon. I'll come back at noon. She didn't get up early. Shen Shun didn't think much about it. She probably didn't believe that her best friend would sleep with Li Fan. She probably didn't sleep well last night because I was chatting with her. She looked at the time. It's still early. I'm going to take a nap. Come back at noon. All right. Li Fan heaved a sigh of relief. He was finally fooled. See you at noon. Be careful. Got it. Shen Shun was a little impatient. Why aren't you leaving yet? Are you waiting to sleep with me? Can I? Fine my ass. Let's go. Li Fan laughed heartily as he walked out. It was quite interesting to tease Shen Shun. It was rare for Li Fan to come to class, so there was quite a commotion in the Chinese department. Looking at the campus celebrity, sitting in the classroom, holding a textbook and listening attentively, the surrounding students said all sorts of things. This is Li Fan. He's quite handsome. He is Li Fan. He looks a little ordinary, not even as good as me. The surrounding students were whispering about Li Fan. This was English class. Liao Wushuang stood on the podium and looked at Li Fan with an indifferent gaze. In public, Liao Wushuang had always behaved normally, so as not to cause unnecessary influence. Io, second brother, you're finally in class. Wang Yang said with a face full of emotion. I read your fortune yesterday, and it bodes ill for you. I was scared. I'm relieved to be able to see you today. I told you I'm fine. When has your fortune ever been accurate? Zhao Ingjun muttered at the side. I asked you to read when I could find a partner, but you never got it right. Fuck, how is it not accurate? Wang Yang immediately ridiculed. You read when Lu Wan'er will like you. Didn't I tell you? It's impossible. Is there a need to read it? Wang Ying, who was listening at the side, said venomously, Look at him. Who would like him? Not only is he stupid, but his brain is also not good. Zhao Ingjun seemed to be speechless. That stupid and brain are not good. Shouldn't they mean the same thing? Wang Yang lowered his voice and asked Li Fan. Well, she probably said it wrong. Li Fan analyzed. I think what she wants to say is that she's ugly and her brain isn't working well. Wang Yang nodded again and again, seemingly reaching an agreement. Isn't that Luan? Why is she here? Zhao Ingjun suddenly saw a student sneaking in from the door and was surprised. Oh my God, could it be that she discovered her love for me and came to see me? You think too much. Wang Yang glared at him and then looked at Luan. Is senior sister's foot broken? Why is she limping? Li Fan couldn't help but want to cough. Li Fan. When Zhao Ingjun wanted to say hello to Lu Wan'er, she had already sat next to Li Fan and put a breakfast in Li Fan's arms. I remember, you probably haven't eaten breakfast, so I specially bought breakfast for you. Zhao Ingjun burst into tears. What situation is this? Senior sister Lu Wan'er actually bought breakfast for Li Fan. Heavens, why didn't he buy breakfast for himself? Why are you up? Don't you want to rest for a while? Li Fan hurriedly asked. I can't sleep. I'm afraid you're hungry. Lu Wan'er pointed at the breakfast. I specially went to the door to buy you sushi. When Mr. Abe heard it was bought for you, he personally cooked it. Would a senior sister be so good to a junior brother? Wang Ying and the others were guessing. Could it be that Li Fan? has already conquered Lu Wan'er? Thank you, senior sister. I will consider your matter. Li Fan's understatement made the people around him seem to understand something. It turned out that Lu Wan asked Li Fan to do something. That's easy to understand. You're the most cunning. Lu Wan'er lowered her voice. Hurry up and eat something, don't starve. The classroom was very big. If someone was eating, the teacher would not notice. Especially Liao Wushuang. Even if she saw him eating, she would not lose her temper. However, Li Fan secretly ate sushi in front of so many people, which made him somewhat embarrassed. Should I feed you? Lu Wan'er asked. I'll do it myself. Li Fan was afraid of scaring other students, so he hurriedly refused his senior sister's kindness. Li Fan did not dare to speak. He took out his phone, eating sushi while sending a WeChat message to Lu Wan'er. Does it still hurt? Lu Wan'er replied with a crying emoji. Everything was said without words. Lu Wan'er was his first woman. Although he seemed to have done it with imperial concubine Zhou, it was not led by his own consciousness, so it should not be counted. Go back and rest quickly. Don't break your body. That's also because you broke it. Lu Wan'er's words made Li Fan's heart itch again. He looked at the spacious classroom, and then looked at the last row, which was almost empty. Should I do it in this classroom? Chapter 1068. Lu Wan'er realized Li Fan's intentions and couldn't help but secretly pinch Li Fan. This guy, at this time, he was still thinking of naughty things. It's not convenient right now. Maybe next time. Lu Wan'er's words left no room for maneuver. Li Fan couldn't help but snicker. It seemed like university life was quite blissful. Yeah, I'm a little tired. Lu Wan'er gently leaned on Li Fan and closed her eyes. The surrounding people all sucked in a breath of cold air. Lu Wan'er and Li Fan were too intimate. Many of Lu Wan'er's personal guards were extremely sad and indignant when they saw this. If it were any other guy who dared to be so close to their goddess, they would definitely be beaten up by them. But this was Li Fan, the president of the Martial Arts Society, the school bully. Who would dare to fight with him? Those who dared to find trouble with him were like lighting a lamp in the toilet, looking for shit. Zhao Yingjun also had tears streaming down his face. It seemed like his dream was finally shattered. Right now, even a fool could see that Lu Wan'er's heart was already hanging on second brother's body. It was over. Everything was over. His ultimate university dream. Shen Shen had confessed to Li Fan, and Lu Wan'er also liked Li Fan. How could he continue? What kind of reincarnation was second brother? Why did he attract so many girls? And all of them were top-notch beauties. It wasn't fair. God, why did you have to create a person like second brother? How were other men supposed to live like this? If one day I suddenly left, what would you do? I would look for you. Li Fan answered without hesitation. Senior wants to leave? It's not that easy. No matter where you go, I will catch you and bring you back. Li Fan's roguelike answer made Lu Wan'er very satisfied. She didn't expect this guy to be so good at coaxing girls once he let himself go. If only he was alone. Lu Wan'er suddenly felt that she was a little greedy. After all, she only had 2 years left. How could she ask for more? It's better to quietly enjoy this short university life. At least for now, it's pretty good. Let me be greedy for a while longer. The morning classes passed quickly. At noon, Li Fan and Lu Wan'er went to the ramen restaurant at the back door of the school. In terms of chatting, this ramen restaurant was indeed a good place. Abe-sei had specially prepared a quiet cubicle for Li Fan. Inside was a pure Japanese tatami. If a geisha were to serve him, Li Fan would feel that he had completely fallen. However, it seemed pretty good to have the islanders serve him. Mr. Abe, you could go ahead with your work. We can handle this by ourselves. Looking at Abe Ching, who personally prepared sashimi for them, Li Fan hurriedly advised. Do you want to talk about something? All right, I'll leave now. Abe Chung bowed to Li Fan. If there's anything you need, just press this bell, and I'll come over immediately. With that, Abe Seiji tactfully backed away from the cubicle. Hey, I still want to eat that volcano hot pot. Shen Shan was a little regretful. There's no more ingredients today. How annoying. You foodie, that's not convenient for us to talk about things. Li Fan couldn't help but laugh. Are you here to eat hot pot or to talk about the management company? Aya, let's talk while eating. Shen Chun giggled. Isn't the Chinese tradition to settle everything at the dining table, including having children? Li Fan squinted his eyes. You're so naughty. Lu Wan Air gently patted Li Fan's hand. Don't talk nonsense. Shen Chun frowned slightly, feeling that there was something strange between the two of them. Were they already so intimate with each other? For some reason, Shen Chun felt a little unhappy in his heart. All right, stop messing around. Let's talk about today's key issue. Li Fan pretended to be serious, making the two girls not know whether to laugh or cry. He was obviously the most indecent one. The management company, Shaoan, and I talked for a while. I think with Shan Chen's current voice, there should be no problem. After being possessed by the devil, Shun Chen's voice had also recovered. Her voice was indeed unparalleled in the world. As long as she could record a good album and create some positive news about Shun Chun in advance, it would definitely give Shun Chun a second chance. Li Fan told Shun Chun this idea, causing Shun Chun to roll her eyes. Damn, you're the second chance. Exactly how old is Shun Chun? You're the second chance. Lu On Air also scolded Li Fan. You're not reliable at all. How can we rely on you? All right, it's my fault. Li Fan now liked Lu Wan Air's way of doing things. Whatever she said, he would do. In terms of funds, I can personally come up with 1 million. This is almost all of my savings. You actually have so much savings. Lu Wan Air was a little surprised. Is the escort agency that profitable? This is my personal savings. I haven't calculated the money for the escort agency business. Li Fan asked Lin Yuchisen to help him calculate. Excluding the money I'm going to use to open a martial arts school, the escort agency can provide me with another 10 million. I can't come up with more money. After all, the escort agency's business hasn't been particularly good recently. The two girls were a little speechless. Is this still called having no money? Hey, don't you understand working capital? Li Fan laughed. This is venture capital money. Only projects that make money can be taken out. Moreover, I've said it before, I believe this management company can make money. He can make money and also help Shun Shun and Lu Wan Er. Why not? More than 10 million. That's enough to set up a simple small company. Lu Wan Er seemed to be better in this area. Shun Shun, you should know a lot of people in the entertainment industry, producers, and the like. As long as we have this network, we can go much smoother. This Shun Shun curled his lips. This bunch of grandsons all burning bridges after crossing the river. Now, they don't even care about me. I'm afraid this is caused by your usual temper. Li Fan added another strike without hesitation. In this circle, there are many people with bad tempers. Lu Wan Air reminded Li Fan. It's mainly because of Shun Chen's family. Now, what we lack is the problem of connections. Jessica's connections are also good. Shun Chen thought for a moment, then said, she should be able to help. Where is she now? Li Fan asked. Well, she seems to have left her original company, probably looking for a new one. According to her qualifications and connections, it shouldn't be difficult to find. Hire her with a high salary. Li Fan said without hesitation, whether she comes or not, it's the key to whether you can shine again, whether you can become famous again. Chapter 1069. In the time it took to have a meal, the few of them finalized the matters of the agency. Lu Wanner went to handle the company registration. Shin Chin was in charge of hiring Jessica. As for Li Fan, he was just an investor. All he had to do was pay. After the three of them finished talking, they were about to go out when a skinny boy walked in from the opposite direction. He looked very ordinary and short. He bumped his head into Li Fan's chest. He flew out and was caught by Li Fan. I'm sorry, classmate. Are you okay? The boy raised his head and glanced at Li Fan. Then he took out a photo, put on his glasses, and compared it carefully. Are you Li Fan? The boy asked. Yes, you are. Great, I found you. The boy laughed. You can go to hell. Any a monkey. As soon as he finished speaking, a red monkey jumped out from behind him. Li Fan was right. This guy was indeed a monkey. It was about half a meter tall, covered in red hair. Only the tip of its tail and claws were white. The monkey jumped in front of Li Fan in the blink of an eye and slapped Li Fan's chest. Bang! Amidst the exclamations of the two girls, Li Fan was directly sent flying, directly smashing a table in the restaurant. So weak. The boy squatted at the door, holding his chin and looking at Li Fan in confusion. Why did you send me to kill such a weak person? Lu Wonder was about to call the police, but the boy smiled at her. Big sister, don't mess around. Although I shouldn't attack ordinary people, I still have the immunity to murder. The boy said those terrifying words, but he smiled innocently, causing Lu Wonder, who was looking at him, to be secretly alarmed. This boy looked like he was only 15 or 16 years old, but he could talk about murder so casually. Who was he? Juan, this is my business. Don't interfere. Mr. Abe, please close the door. Li Fan knew that the target was coming for him. Since he had no intention of harming others, that was the best. Friend, don't you think it's a little inappropriate to fight in broad daylight? Li Fan patted the dust off his body and got up. He looked at the boy squatting at the door and asked, how should I put it? Actually, my monkey is a bit impatient. The little boy shrugged his shoulders and put on a cool look. It's not like my dull personality at all. The monkey jumped up again and stepped on the chandelier as if it was swinging. It squeaked and swayed excitedly. Even if you're here to kill me, you should at least report your name first. There were a few shocked diners around them, staring at them in a daze. Some of them came to their senses and took out their phones from their pockets. Li Fan glanced at them and calmly sat on a chair, as if he wasn't surprised at all. The 12 divine generals. The boy took out a special plate and showed it to Li Fan. The plate was carved out of black jade, about the size of half a palm, and he held it in his hand. The black jade was carved with the character monkey in seal script. This is my proof of identity. Do you see it? That monkey is called Enya Monkey. We belong to Huaxia, and we're a weapon of Huaxia. Oh, Li Fan was surprised, but he didn't show it on his face. Then what crime did I commit? Why are you here to kill me? Big brother, the crimes you've committed are too numerous to list. The boy said with a little disdain, it doesn't matter to me, but I have to come because of the task given by my superiors. Enya Monkey, kill him so we can go back early. It's so hot here. It seemed that this guy lived in the capital most of the time. Things seem to be a little tricky. If so, it seems that I can't escape today. Li Fan stretched out his hands. I surrender. Take me back. Li Fan? Lu Wonder was a little anxious. Shen couldn't help but stretch out his hand, as if he was going to use his spiritual power. It's okay. I know what I'm doing. Since it's a government organization, they won't wrong me. Li Fan gave him a comforting smile. I surrender, little friend. The boy was a little stunned, as if he didn't expect Li Fan to have such an option. Enya Monkey, he surrendered. He looked up at the monkey helplessly. What should I do? Did the superiors say we can catch him alive? The monkey bounced a few times, then nodded desperately. All right, you managed to keep your life. The boy took off a pair of handcuffs. These are made of special metal. Even an elephant can't break free. Come back with me. Wonder, please help me apply for a leave from school. Li Fan said, I'll be back in 2 days. Okay. Lu Wonder nodded, but there was still some worry in her eyes. What do you need me to do, Li Fan? Although Shen usually liked to bicker with Li Fan, she seemed very serious at this time. She didn't want anything to happen to Li Fan. I have a pot of cactus on the balcony. Those guys in the dormitory are not reliable. You and Wonder can take care of it for me. Li Fan said after thinking for a moment. You won't have a chance to come back. The boy reminded him, stay in prison for the rest of your life. Well, I think it's enough for you to die 7 or 8 times for your crimes. Little friend, don't speak so early. I'm not sure whether I'll die or not. Li Fan chuckled and seemed to be full of confidence. You talk too much. Let's go. The little boy grabbed Li Fan and pulled him out of the noodle shop and outside. What car are we going to take? After Li Fan came out, he asked slowly, for a senior government civil servant like you, it must be a Bentley class or above when you go out, right? I'll only take the extended Bentley, the kind with a refrigerator. Then prepare some red wine for me. Lafite will do. I don't want the 82-year one. It's too vulgar. I like the 90-year one. You're really carefree. The boy couldn't help but turn his head and look at Li Fan strangely. Aren't you afraid of death? Of course I'm afraid. Who isn't afraid of death? Li Fan replied without hesitation. But I'm so young. It's still early for me to die. A wonderful life is still waiting for me. How long do you think you can live? The boy curled his lips. I'll send you to the airport in a moment. Soon, I'll send you to the capital and let you receive the trial you deserve there. Chapter 1070. It was a private plane that was responsible for escorting Li Fan. In less than a day, he was sent to the secret airport in the capital and then escorted by a military vehicle directly to a military area in the capital. Setting the base in the military area? As Li Fan walked, he looked at the surrounding environment. There were patrolling soldiers all around, one group after another, well-trained, strictly guarding. Really impressive. You talk a lot. The little boy seemed a little impatient. Li Fan looked at him with a smile. What? You don't allow me to talk. Say it, say it. The little boy was a little depressed. Anyway, you're going to die. You're really considerate. Li Fan did not know whether to thank him or ridicule him. By the way, why is that monkey of yours so powerful? Don't ask me. I don't want to talk to you. The little boy took Li Fan to a white building and seemed to be relieved. Soon, there will be specialized people to deal with you. Really? A man or a woman? You'll see soon. Didn't you say you don't want to talk to me? How could this little boy win against Li Fan? He was soon rendered speechless. Dong, dong, dong. He was almost exasperated as he slammed the door. Hey, such a high-tech place. There's no password door or something? Li Fan asked in surprise. None of your business. The little boy was embarrassed to say that he forgot to bring the key card. You forgot to bring the key card again. A girl's voice came out along with the open door. What an idiot. Seeing the girl in front of him, Li Fan was stunned for a moment. Her delicate face, petite figure, looks like she's only 13 or 14 years old. She actually works here? Don't you dare. The little boy said angrily. I'll leave this person to you. You handle it. Ah. The little loli raised her head and carefully looked at Li Fan. You actually caught him alive. Yeah, who am I? The little boy pursed his lips. As a mature big brother, you can just rely on me. Come on. You're only 3 years older than me. The little loli said in disgust. And people who like to pretend to be mature are the most annoying. As she said that, she grabbed the chain that bound Li Fan. Come with me, Mr. Murderer. Yo, my title isn't bad. Li Fan did not resist and followed him in. The young man successfully handed over Li Fan and heaved a sigh of relief. However, he did not leave. Instead, he brought his red-haired monkey and followed behind Li Fan. Little girl, are you one of the 12 heavenly generals? It was a long and stuffy corridor leading to the underground base. Li Fan was bored and couldn't help but ask. Yes, uncle. The little loli wearing a cute little dress reminded Li Fan of Murong AI in the past. However, Murong AI is now a big girl and is no longer the little loli from back then. And the person in front of him has a strange temper. Calling him uncle made Li Fan a little unhappy. Are you 12 heavenly generals arranged according to the zodiac? Li Fan just casually asked. He did not expect the little loli and the young man to be a little surprised. They looked at each other, and then the little loli said to Li Fan, How did you know? Damn, it's true. Li Fan couldn't help but want to laugh. I was just casually guessing. Your guess is quite accurate. That's right. We are arranged according to the 12 zodiac. The little loli sighed. This kind of ancient tradition is the most boring. How good would it be if there was a saint from the 12 zodiac? Hey, don't talk nonsense. The young man reminded her. We have the 12 sacred beasts. They are the guardian of China. But who wants a pig? The little loli stamped her feet, and a little white pig walked over from the corner. The little white pig was the size of a teddy bear. It puffed and followed the little loli. Wow, so cute. Li Fan licked his lips, and it looks delicious. Uncle, you have such a strong taste. Hey, don't you like roast suckling pig? Of course not. Eating too much meat will make people stink. I should eat more vegetables. The little girl said, while eating the beef jerky in her hand. If you like this pig, I can give it to you. Hey, stop fooling around. Although any a pig is a little stupid, it is still an important sacred beast. Do you want to exchange? The little girl looked at her companion. Exchange my second senior brother for your brother monkey? How can I do that? Any a monkey. He can't leave me. The young man crossed his arms and pretended to be cool. You could be like him and rely on me a little more. I don't need to rely on you. The little girl pulled open the door next to her. We're here. Go in. As she spoke, she pushed Li Fan from behind. No one knew where this girl got the strength from, but she actually pushed Li Fan a few steps, and he fell into the house. So violent. Li Fan was pushed onto a chair. After sitting down, he was put on iron cuffs. These are super alloy shackles, the little girl said while fiddling with various instruments of torture. Hey, you can't do this. The young man hurriedly shouted. We are not allowed to torture people. What if we kill him? Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. The little girl held a chainsaw and said with a smile, he will definitely live. Then I really have to thank you. Li Fan was not the least bit afraid. He even winked at the little girl. Little girl, what's your name? Zhang Xinran. The little girl said while starting the chainsaw, but we, the 12 generals, have long abandoned our names. I only left the code name, 12. 12? That's not bad. Li Fan nodded. It seems that you're the youngest one here. Uncle, you are very smart. The little lowly nodded. I'm indeed the youngest one, but I'm the one who has the most fun. Come on, I will take Uncle to heaven. With that, the little girl raised a rotating chainsaw and slowly cut toward Li Fan's hand. You have to call me nicer. The chainsaw fell on Li Fan's arm, creating golden sparks. But Li Fan's arm was unscathed, as if it was wrapped in a layer of steel. Huh? The little girl was a little surprised. The little white pig was also snorting and swaying at her feet. Strange. Are you an android? Zhang Xinran looked at Li Fan inexplicably. The chainsaw doesn't work? Are you a monster? You don't seem to be qualified to say that about me. Li Fan smiled. Don't you have a monster with you? Chapter 1071. They are not monsters. The little boy immediately reminded Li Fan. They're the 12 sacred beasts that guard China. All right, they're indeed monsters. The little lowly increased the horsepower of the chainsaw, and the motor issued a buzzing sound. All right, he is called Number 10. His original name is Luo. Luo what? Radish leg? Luo Hausen. His name is Number 10. The little lowly simplified the conversation between them. All right, you do what you need to do. I will ask my questions. Li Fan watched as the little lowly placed the chainsaw on his neck, creating a large amount of golden sparks. What is the origin of this pig and monkey? They seem quite powerful. Sacred beast. These are the sacred beasts that have been passed down from generation to generation. As if to prove to the sacred beasts, Number 10 repeatedly emphasized, each generation of them will also breed and give birth to the next generation of sacred beasts. It is said that since ancient times, the 12 sacred beasts have been protecting us humans. Therefore, the story of the 12 zodiac was based on them. Sounds awesome. Li Fan could not help but praise. Then can you give me one? It must be interesting to raise it as a pet. If you want, I will give you my pig. The little lowly kicked the little white pig. Bastard, don't eat my pants. How many times have I said it? You foodie. This pig is so pitiful. Li Fan could not help but feel distressed. To have such a violent master like you. Am I violent? The little lowly innocently looked at Li Fan. I don't think so. Why do I feel that I am very kind? Before saying this, put down your chainsaw. The effect will be better, right? Li Fan asked. Who knows? But let's continue to play. I haven't had enough fun yet. The little lowly found that the chainsaw was not easy to use and could not help but sigh. Looks like the chainsaw won't work. Is your body really made of copper skin and iron bones? That's not it, Li Fan calmly said. This is the true chi that protects my body. Ordinary chainsaws will not work. Interesting. The little lowly licked her lips. Then let's play something more exciting. As she spoke, she picked up 2 wires from the side and turned up the power of the electrical box. Are you crazy? Number 10 was a little surprised. If you use this, he will definitely be electrocuted to a crisp. Even elephants can't stand it. He's much more fun than elephants. As a little lowly spoke, she connected the 2 electrodes to Li Fan's body. Uncle, I hope we have a good time. Okay, let's be more exciting. Li Fan gave the little lowly an encouraging look. I'll make you feel good. The little lowly ignored number 10 and pressed the switch. The monkey jumped onto the electric box and watched as the meter on the electric box kept increasing. 2 electrodes were connected to Li Fan's body, and a crazy electric current instantly rushed into his body. The lights above his head flickered. It was indeed a little strange. Li Fan sat there. To him, this thing was no different from a power bank. Li Fan has a move called Rushing Thunder Kick and another move called Godslayer. He could already convert the electric current into a kind of energy and store it in his body. The voltage in the room was messed up, but Li Fan was still calmly sitting there, not affected at all. Aya. The little lowly bit her finger and looked at the relaxed Li Fan. Even electric shock doesn't work. This guy's a bit strange. Even the little boy number 10 was a little puzzled. If this guy is so strong, why did he surrender to me? This is really strange. It's not exciting enough. Li Fan yawned. Is there anything more exciting, children? Or let your family's adults do it? Are you looking down on us? Number 10 was a little unhappy. The monkey jumped down from the electric box and climbed onto his back, jumping up and down, seemingly in sync with his mood. Yes, Li Fan said lazily. You see, isn't this the case? I came all the way here, but in the end, it's not fun at all. How dare a prisoner speak such arrogant words? Number 10 stared at Li Fan. When the commander comes, you will behave. Commander? Li Fan felt that he finally got some useful information. It seems that this so-called department of the 12 sacred beasts should be under the direct control of the military. Uncle, don't tell me you want to run away. The little lowly couldn't help but ridicule Li Fan. Impossible. You can't escape here. That sounds pretty scary. Li Fan moved his neck in the electric current. I'm hungry. Can you two prepare something to eat? I'm not picky when it comes to food. I'll just buy a serving of Yang Guofu's malatang. Don't put any white vegetables in it. Green vegetables, no spinach, no lettuce. Also, don't put rice powder in it. Just put more bean paste and more spicy. Look at the situation. You're still so arrogant. Number 10 slammed the table. I'm not buying it for you. Go hungry. All right, then I won't bother you two. I'll buy it myself. As Li Fan spoke, he shook his wrist and broke the iron buckle that was fastened on it. Under the dumbfounded gazes of the two, Li Fan stood up and stretched his body. Oh, my body is stiff after sitting on the plane for so long. Give me an electric shock. It'll feel much better. 12. Listen to me. Don't work for the government. Go out and open an electrotherapy room. I guarantee that your business will be good. Ew. You're a monster. Number 10 couldn't close his mouth for a long time, while Lolita was looking at Li Fan with interest, as if she was looking at an interesting prey. What flavor of spicy hot pot would you like? I'll bring it back for you. Li Fan walked to the door and asked, Where are you going? As soon as number 10 came to his senses, he immediately sent the monkey to attack. Any a monkey, catch him! As he spoke, the monkey rushed forward like a meteor, pouncing on Li Fan and slapping Li Fan's cheek. Li Fan moved to the side and reached out to push the monkey. He directly used the force to push the monkey away. 6. Lolita couldn't help but praise. But uncle, our sacred beast won't be defeated so easily. As soon as she said this, the monkey had already stepped on the wall, jumped in front of Li Fan again, and struck again. Li Fan dodged to the side, while the monkey showed off its skills in the room, jumping back and forth, moving at high speed, and attacking Li Fan again and again. Li Fan used the crane's hand to knock away the monkey that pounced on him. Ursa Major Seal. Li Fan suddenly pulled out his palm and slapped the monkey's body, imprinting the monkey into the wall. Chapter 1072. Your sacred beast can't do it either. Li Fan withdrew his palm. It can't even take one hit. Any a monkey? Open the seal. The young man seemed to be a little angry. He immediately scolded. The red-haired monkey suddenly roared. Its feathers seemed to be burning a dazzling fiery red. The monkey's body also began to expand. Soon, it grew to the size of a normal man, about 1.6 or 1.7 meters tall. Its body was covered in fiery red fur, and it wore a black fire cloud armor. It held a golden iron staff in its hand. Holy crap, it's a great sage. Li Fan could not help but want to give it a thumbs up when he saw its appearance. On the monkey's head, a strand of red hair was burning, giving people a sense of awe. This is the true form of a sacred beast. Number 10 crossed his arms and leaned against the wall. He looked at Li Fan proudly. Prepare to bear the wrath of a sacred beast. Li Fan was indeed a little shocked. This monkey could transform. No wonder it was called a sacred beast. How awesome. Any a monkey. Take him down. Number 10 ordered. The monkey squeaked twice, then suddenly picked up its staff and jumped towards Li Fan. It really had the demeanor of the legendary Monkey King. Li Fan looked at the Monkey King. In the blink of an eye, the monkey had jumped in front of him with its staff. At the same time, the staff in its hand smashed down on Li Fan's head, creating a gust of wind. Li Fan raised his right hand to block. Clang! The staff hit Li Fan's arm and was blocked. However, his body sank, and his knees pressed against the ground, creating a pit. Such great strength. Li Fan could not help but exclaim, "It seems that there are still many things I don't understand about China. Still talking so much nonsense. Any a monkey, make him quiet." The fiery monkey waved its weapon and attacked Li Fan repeatedly. Li Fan roughly analyzed its strength. In terms of strength, it was at least at the peak of perfection, possibly at the pinnacle level. This kind of master was rare, even in the martial arts world. If it was the 12 holy beasts, it meant that there were at least 12 such great experts here. It was really a pretty good combat power. It's just a monkey. Don't be too presumptuous. As Li Fan spoke, he found a gap in the monkey's defense and pressed down with his palm. Following that, he used the Ape King cannon on the monkey's body. Boom! The monkey was sent flying, instantly smashing through the wall behind it and smashing into the corridor outside. Monkey's body was embedded in the wall outside, and the flame on its head was a little dim. How should I put this? Don't look down on us martial artists. Li Fan put down his palm and looked at Monkey outside the door. Otherwise, you will suffer. Any a monkey, adjust your stance and use Flaming Tornado. Number 10 gave the order, using his voice to control the monkey to attack. With Number 10's command, the monkey obviously had an order. It pulled out its body and waved its stick. Its whole body began to spin. The stick was covered in flames and began to burn fiercely. It really looked like a flaming tornado was spinning towards Li Fan. Li Fan took a few steps back and dodged the flaming tornado. Keep spinning and force him into a corner. Number 10 continued to give the order. The tornado continued to roll, forcing Li Fan into a corner of the room. Not a bad tactic. Li Fan nodded. But it's not enough. As he spoke, he found an opening and suddenly stretched out his hands. Clap! He grabbed the stick, and the monkey's rotation stopped. The flame whirlwind stopped abruptly in front of Li Fan. Damn, no way. Number 10 was dumbfounded. How could he block this move? This Li Fan was really a monster. Cold sweat dripped down Number 10's forehead. He remembered that if Li Fan really attacked him in City G, he would have killed him before any a monkey. Any a monkey, flame burst, and keep attacking. Although Number 10 was a little scared, this was not the time to be afraid. He had to take down Li Fan quickly. He gave the order. The stick burst into flames and shook off Li Fan's hand. Then, the monkey waved its flaming stick and attacked Li Fan repeatedly. It waved the flaming stick in an orderly manner, attacking Li Fan one after another. The monkey's stick moved faster and heavier. Even Li Fan found it difficult to completely block it. His crane hand was knocked back several times, and his palm was still a little numb. This monkey was really something. Number 10, what are you looking at? Come help me. Number 10 shouted at the little girl who was watching the fun. Hey, isn't your monkey quite powerful? Does eldest senior brother still need my help? Hold on tight. You won't be able to explain yourself if he escapes. Number 10 reminded the little girl, Zhang Xinran. Hurry up. I'm coming. What are you rushing me for? The little lowly sighed. You men are so impatient. Little fat pig, go help him. The little white pig grunted and then took a few steps on the spot. Then it started running and bumped into the monkey's foot. The monkey was knocked to the ground. It could be seen how strong the little white pig was. What are you doing? Number 10 was annoyed. You can't blame me. He's a stupid pig. The little girl spread her hands and scolded her sacred beast. Go help that monkey, stupid pig. Grunt, grunt. The little white pig seemed happy after being scolded by its owner. It shook its butt and bumped into Li Fan. Li Fan blocked the monkey's attack and raised his leg, sending the little white pig flying. Enough. Li Fan had already tested monkey's depth. He suddenly turned around and used beating the tiger, sending monkey flying with a palm before he could make a move. At the same time, he gave the little white pig another kick, sending it into the little girl's embrace. The two sacred beast guardians were defeated just like that, but number 10 was still unconvinced. Release the seal. Number 12. I don't want it. The little girl curled her lips. It's so ugly after releasing the seal. I don't want it. Number 10 was speechless. Are the two of you done playing? Li Fan sat back on the chair and looked at the two of them. I'm sick of playing. If you don't find your adults, I'll really go eat. Since you're already here, why are you in such a hurry? Don't be impatient. A middle-aged man in military uniform walked in. When the two sacred beast guardians saw him, they immediately saluted him. General, General? Li Fan crossed his legs and looked at the middle-aged man in front of him. He's only middle-aged, but he's already a general? Let me introduce myself. I'm the leader of the 12 heavenly generals. The general gave him a meaningful look. You're the sword of the emperor, the guardian of China. Why will we lay our hands on you? Li Fan's face turned gloomy. He wasn't sure about this matter, and Wang Luo also guaranteed that no one else knew about it. I won't stand on your side, Li Fan reminded. As a member of the martial arts world, I can't just sit back and watch the crisis of the martial arts world. I know, besides the sword of the emperor, you also have the identity of a gold medal escort. The general nodded. It's true that we have to eliminate the martial artists, but this is not the task given to us by the top. Our task is to subdue you, little overlord Li Fan. Oh, isn't to judge me? You have indeed committed some crimes, but the sword of the emperor is unique. The general said without hesitation. Don't worry, it's absolutely safe here. We can speak freely. The lowly squatted at the door, feeding the little white pig ham sausage. At this time, they were sitting in a very quiet room with no one to disturb them. Lord Wang Luo should have told you that there have always been two factions in China's political system. One is the hawk, and the other is the dove. The one who advocates eradicating the martial arts world is the dove. As for us, the hawk has always advocated cultivating China's armed forces to defend China. This isn't the first time I've been invited by the Chinese government. Li Fan immediately said, once upon a time, the Special Abilities Bureau also recruited me. But needless to say, they still have to rely on me to support them now. Thank you for your contribution to China, and I also apologize for the grievances you've suffered. The general took out a pack of golden leaves. Li Fan glanced at it. It was different from ordinary golden leaves and seemed to be specially provided. The general took out a stick and handed it to Li Fan. I don't smoke. How can a man not smoke? The general chuckled, picked up a stick, and lit it for himself. Smoking is equivalent to relieving stress. Martial artists train their essence, energy, and spirit. Smoking will affect our body and affect our breathing. The power of breathing is the foundation of a martial artist's internal cultivation. Secondhand smoke is more harmful. The general smoked happily. Instead of waiting for others to harm you, it's better to let yourself do it first. What are you thinking? I can't agree with you. Li Fan shook his head. When it came to smoking, he would never give in. All right then. The general did not insist. It's good that you can insist on your own point of view at such a young age. All right, let's go back and talk about our business. What's there to talk about? Didn't you send any a monkey to kill me? That's right. The general did not quibble. He was sent to kill you because if you can't even beat him, then you're not worthy of being the sword of China. What you said makes sense. Should I thank you for your appreciation? You have to understand that it's not me who appreciates you, but Wang Luo, the previous generation's sword of China. The general emphasized, I just want to test if the person he chose is qualified. I never said I'm the Shangfang sword. Li Fan snorted coldly. Li Fan, the Shangfang sword is your only way out, and also the only way out of China. The general's face was a little gloomy. If you don't become the Shangfang sword, then I'm afraid China will be doomed eternally. That exaggerated? Yes, it's that exaggerated. The general was undoubtedly the representative of the Hawks. Betraying your country for glory will not end well. Tell me what you think. Li Fan was not in a hurry to refute. He crossed his arms. If there were benefits, he would try to fight for it. No matter which dynasty it is, China has always had hawks. The same goes for the 12 sacred beasts. They have been protecting China since ancient times, and the Shangfang sword is the best among us. Chapter 1074. Wang Luo is dead. Li Fan still announced the news. Shangfang no longer exists. We know he's dead. The general took out his phone and showed the screen. A golden sign appeared on it. The sign had the 2 words Li Fan printed on it. Li Fan felt a little strange. What is this? Every generation of Shangfang will write down the name of the next generation before they die. It's like a will, you know. I have my considerations. After all, Wang Luo used his last life to exchange for important information. Li Fan was famous for being amenable to coaxing, but not coercion. He really fell for Wang Luo's trick. The Shangfang sword is the last guardian of China. The general emphasized, if there's no Shangfang, China's gate will not be stable. Moreover, Shangfang leads the 12 sacred beasts. If you're not here, they will be without a leader. What does it have to do with me? I'm already very disappointed. Don't you want to stop the holy war? The general continued to ask, if you become Shangfang, you can get our support and save the entire pugilistic world. Aren't you guys worried about the pugilistic world? Li Fan could not help but ask. This is a force that is not controlled by the government. After so many years, the pugilistic world has always existed. But look at them. When have they ever achieved anything great? The general laughed. They are only martial artists after all. Not just anyone can sit on it. The general pointed upwards. I'm different from those cowards. To them, the pugilistic world cannot be controlled, so it must be destroyed. But I think the pugilistic world can be controlled. How? Li Fan continued to ask. This is all for later. Let's talk about something more practical. What you need to protect is the pugilistic world. And what I need to protect is our position. No matter what, our interests are the same. Li Fan thought for a moment. This general's words seemed to make sense. His current position was very awkward. The reason why he came here was because he wanted to get lucky and negotiate with the higher-ups. Now, everything was going according to his wishes, but it was a little too smooth, making Li Fan a little uncomfortable. Li Fan knew this very well. I can see that you still have doubts. The general comforted Li Fan. Don't you worry. The title of Shangfang sword is your best protective talisman. Our current goals and interests are the same. The underworld cannot fall. It is a special line of defense for Huaxia. Those idiots of the Dove faction actually thought that he had used a good plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You can get rid of the world of martial arts in exchange for friendship with America. What a joke. There's nothing wrong with their way of thinking. The Jianghu is indeed a double-edged sword. Do you know why our Great West is so poor? Do you know why we're still defending it and why we're determined not to cede it? Isn't it because of the rich mineral resources? Of course, that's one of the reasons, but it's just one of them. Every inch of Huaxia's land belongs to us. Everyone can fight among themselves, but they can't give it to the foreigners. In addition, these 2 places are our natural lines of defense. Look at the position of the imperial capital. Without them as a buffer, wouldn't the foreign armed forces be able to march straight in and aim for our heart? The general's words did make sense. Moreover, The people of Huaxia loved infighting. However, if there were foreign invaders, no matter how fierce the infighting was, they would first put aside their disputes and unite to defeat the enemy before talking about their own matters. You have cooperated with us a few times. You should know that those foreigners have been eyeing us covetously. Li Fan, let's cooperate. We will naturally offer our sincerity. What sincerity? Li Fan felt that the main point was coming. 12. The general gave the order. Got it. The lowly pressed a button, and the wall beside them suddenly opened. It turned out that there was a hidden room inside. The room wasn't big, and there was a glass container inside. A naked woman floated quietly inside, as if she was asleep. This woman didn't look old, around 14 or 15 years old. Her body hadn't matured yet. The only difference between her and ordinary people was that there was a pair of horns on her head. These seemed to be dragon horns? Dragon lady? Li Fan was a little shocked. Is that possible? She is indeed a dragon lady. She is older than all of us. The general confirmed Li Fan's thoughts. She is the most special of the 12 sacred beasts. She doesn't have a breeder. She is one of the 12 generals. She is clearly an old lady. Why does she have a lowly face? The lowly looked at this woman and couldn't help but feel jealous. She is really annoying. Is there really a dragon lady? I'm not sure about that. The general shrugged. China is so big that there are all kinds of strange things. The 12 sacred beasts have always been the most mysterious secret. Their existence has always been beyond common sense. This dragon lady's existence is probably the same. With that, the general walked to the control panel and operated a few times. The liquid in the glass container was being drained bit by bit. The dragon lady has been the instructor of the Shangfang sword for generations. She will guide you on how to become a qualified Shangfang sword. Moreover, she will protect your life. As long as you are willing, she can even sacrifice her own life for you. When each generation's Shangfang sword is about to die of old age, she will sleep and wait for the next Shangfang sword to be born. So, is she waiting for me? That will depend on her. The general said as his gaze fell on the dragon lady. If she doesn't choose you, you won't be able to become in Shangfang sword. So what you say doesn't count. You don't have to mock me. The general was very calm. I am not the president. How can I have the final say? The general seemed to realize something and quickly added, besides, what the president says doesn't count. The country belongs to the people. The people have the most right to decide. All right, whatever you say. Li Fan didn't want to say anything else. He was now a little expectant. Would this dragon lady wake up? However, was it okay to not wear anything? Even if she didn't have a chest, she was still a young girl's body. It was still very eye-catching. The rest is up to her. The general also stood on the side, waiting for the final result. The two of them seemed to have reached a tacit understanding. Whether their cooperation could succeed or not depended on the dragon lady. Li Fan stood in front of the container. The little lowly was also watching from the side. The little white pig was huffing and puffing. It was unknown if it was begging for food or watching the show. Li Fan stood there for a long time, but the dragon lady didn't seem to have any intention of waking up. Looks like it won't work. The little lowly laughed and picked up the chainsaw. Let me dissect him. Wait. Just when Li Fan was a little disappointed, the general suddenly shouted. Chapter 1075. Wait a minute, there's movement. The general stared at the vessel, and his expression seemed to be a little excited. Li Fan also stared at the vessel. The dragon girl inside slowly raised her head and then opened her eyes a little. She had a pair of golden pupils. At the moment when their eyes met, Li Fan felt that he had crossed 1,000 years in one glance. It was a kind of aura that made him a little old and sad. Is this the dragon girl's gaze? Did she really live for thousands of years? What did she experience? Imperial concubine Zhou lived for hundreds of years, and it was already very scary. To live for more than 1,000 years, it would be even more terrifying. Moreover, is there really a dragon girl in this world? China is really big. The dragon girl opened her eyes completely. A pair of golden pupils stared at Li Fan as if she was observing him. Madam Dragon Girl, The general actually knelt down in front of the dragon girl and lowered his head to ask, "Can he?" "Yes." The dragon girl's voice penetrated the glass vessel and came out. At the same time, her palm gently pressed on the vessel. The glass seemed to be affected by some kind of force and shattered with a crack. The broken glass did not fall to the ground, but strangely floated beside it, as if it was fixed in the air. The dragon girl stretched out her hand, and the glass automatically avoided her arm and moved to the side. The dragon girl gently tapped on Li Fan's forehead with one finger. Li Fan felt as if his soul was peeled off and presented in front of the dragon girl. He didn't like this. Mr. Yang appeared beside Li Fan, but the general and the little lowly obviously couldn't see him. A spiritual wave spread out and hit the dragon girl's body, bouncing her spiritual power out of Li Fan's body. The dragon girl seemed a little surprised. Strange method, but it's qualified. Li Fan looked at the dragon girl floating in front of him. Is it another test? The dragon girl didn't speak. The pool next to her suddenly burst open and the tap water inside gushed out. It swirled in the air and finally rolled onto the dragon girl. When the waves dissipated, Dragoness was already wearing a blue blouse and a black knee-length skirt. This outfit, Li Fan was a little familiar with it because he had often seen it in the television dramas of the Republic of China. It was a student outfit that belonged to a striving young woman. Why was the dragon lady dressed like that? What are you looking at? Noticing that Li Fan was staring at her, Dragon Lady felt a little uncomfortable and asked, "You look a little retro." "Really?" Dragoness was a little surprised. "This is clearly a very trendy new model. Did I sleep for too long?" "You slept for an unusually long time." Li Fan was a little speechless. Another long-lived woman. However, the difference between her and Imperial Concubine Zhou was too big. Imperial Concubine Zhou could be said to be a mature elder sister, while Dragoness's appearance was simply a silly Lolita. "Oh, I'm hungry." The Dragon Lady suddenly spoke. "Quick, prepare some food for Dragon Lady." The general immediately gave the order. Number 12 could only twitch his mouth and order people to prepare food. "See, pig?" Dragon Lady looked at the little white pig on the ground and suddenly revealed a smile. "Long time no see." Li Fan said that this Dragon Lady valued friendship quite a bit. But Dragon Lady turned her head and added, "It looks even more delicious." The little white pig was scared to the point of peeing. It shook its butt and ran away in a panic. Dragon Lady licked her lips, then turned her head and looked at the general very seriously. "You are the leader of this generation, right? How about we roast that pig?" The general was also a person who had experienced great storms, but when he heard this, he was also dumbfounded. This isn't appropriate." "Dragon Lady, what a pity." Dragon Lady sighed softly. "It's quite delicious. Dragon Lady, we have prepared dinner for you. You will definitely be satisfied." The general hurriedly said. At the same time, he muttered in his heart, "Sea pig is a great fighting force. How can it be roasted and eaten?" At a roasted suckling pig, Dragon Lady licked her lips and said. Li Fan could not help but want to laugh. Wasn't this the same as what he said? "Dragon Lady, this is your apprentice, the new generation's Shangfang sword." The general introduced Li Fan. "I know, and only he can wake me up." Dragon Lady nodded. She looked up and down and carefully sized up Li Fan. "He looks very weak, but his mental strength is unique. Li Fan, you will have to learn from Dragon Lady in the future until Dragon Lady feels that you are qualified to be the Shangfang sword." The general introduced to Li Fan. "When you are qualified to be the Shangfang sword, Dragon Lady will continue to sleep. If you're not qualified, she will personally kill you and find a new candidate." What the hell? Li Fan was stunned when he heard this. There was such a deceptive setting. Survival of the fittest. Dragon Lady looked at Li Fan. "If you are not strong enough, I will let your soul return to the earth. Then I really have to thank you." "You're welcome. This is what I should do." Dragon Lady seemed to have lost interest in Li Fan again. "When is the meal?" "Right away, right away." The general hurriedly led the way. As a leader of China, he was willing to lead the way for Dragon Lady. Dragon Lady, this way, please. This is our dining hall. The general brought them all the way to the dining hall of the underground facility. At this time, there was no one else in the dining hall. After all, it was not mealtime. Plate after plate of sumptuous meals were placed on the table. Dragon Lady glanced at them and frowned slightly. Why are they all ordinary dishes? I want to eat the Manchu Han Imperial Feast. Li Fan felt the general break out in a cold sweat. That, Dragon Lady, times have changed. Now, the ingredients of the Manchu Han Imperial Feast are mostly protected animals. What's there to protect about animals? Dragon Lady rolled her eyes. Aren't animals used to be eaten? Why don't you eat humans? Li Fan could not help but mock. Human meat is not delicious. Dragon Lady shook her head. It's sour. Li Fan did not know what to say. You really ate it before? Yes, there was a period of time when not only me, but everyone ate humans. The Dragon Lady laughed. To you humans, isn't everything food? Tell me, what do you not eat? Even if you don't eat it, I can eat it. I stand at the top of the food chain. Really? Li Fan laughed. We don't eat shit. Dragon Lady was eating a piece of streaky pork when she heard this and almost vomited. Bastard, your personality is too bad. The one with a bad personality is you. Li Fan crossed his arms and leaned on the chair. I am a very obedient student. Chapter 1076. Humph. If you want to become my disciple, you still need to be tested. The dragon girl looked at Li Fan with contempt. You are too lacking. An imperial sword is not something that you can be. With that, the dragon girl stretched out her hand, and a golden sword appeared in her hand, which she slammed on the table. Li Fan was taken aback. This is an imperial sword? Wasn't it placed in Lu Wan's house in Ji City? How did it come here? This Shangfang sword was originally forged for my dragon scales. The dragon girl saw through Li Fan's doubts. As long as I summon it, it will come at any time. What is this, a spell? It's instinct. The dragon girl answered Li Fan's question. I'm the last dragon girl in this world, so you have to let me eat and drink. Unbelievable. Li Fan was still somewhat puzzled. What dragon girl? Did they really exist? Although there was a living one in front of him, Li Fan still did not believe it. You continue eating. I will answer for you, Madam Dragon Girl. The general saw that the dragon girl was a little angry, so he explained for Li Fan. In China, thousands of years ago, there used to be more holy beasts and demons. The dragon girl added, yes, there were demons. At that time in China, demons ran amok, and humans were still very weak. So they worshipped the holy beasts and asked the holy beasts to protect the safety of humans. The general was very familiar with these legends. At that time, the famous holy beasts were the 4 holy beasts, namely the azure dragon, white tiger, vermilion bird, black tortoise, and the 12 holy beasts, which are also known as the 12 zodiacs. Later, the holy beasts and humans expelled the demons together, and then humans had evil intentions and decided to take the power of the holy beasts. Their intentions were discovered by the holy beasts, so the war between humans and the holy beasts began. This kind of story is not new. Li Fan slapped his thigh. It's not the first time I've seen a typical example of burning the bridge after crossing the river. Let me finish. The general knew that Li Fan was mocking him, so he interrupted Li Fan and continued. During that period of time, the holy beasts were constantly being slaughtered. The humans forged them into terrifying weapons and used them. The 4 sacred beasts took some rare sacred beasts and escaped to other places. The 12 sacred beasts didn't manage to escape in time and stayed behind. The general kept looking at the little white pig that was eating at the side. In order to survive, they attached themselves to a human tribe. In order to protect the sacred beast, the tribe fought with other humans and suffered heavy casualties. In the end, they could only go into exile. At this time, a human stood up. He was willing to protect this tribe. So the 12 holy beasts chose Dragon Lady to nurture this human. This is the Shangfang sword. Li Fan was a little confused. That's not right. Didn't Shangfang sword appear in the Han Dynasty? Indeed, it was only during the Han Dynasty that the Shang-Fang sword officially cooperated with the butler. Before that, it was a unique organization. The general continued to explain. The first generation of the Shang-Fang sword, under the nurturing of the Dragon Lady, led the 12 sacred beasts and defeated the other tribes. From then on, the Shang-Fang sword was passed down from generation to generation until today. And every generation of the Shang-Fang sword would be taught by the Dragon Lady. In other words, you have lived for thousands of years? Li Fan looked at the Dragon Lady in front of him, who was eating and drinking to her heart's content. Bullshit. The Dragon Lady curled her lips and spat out a chicken bone, showing a bad expression. The Dragon Lady from back then died long ago. I came later. Can't you be more refined? Li Fan couldn't help but ridicule. Is there a need to be refined when eating? Eating is the most uncivilized behavior. The Dragon Lady said without hesitation. All animals eat, right? That's true. Li Fan nodded. That's why I said you are an animal. Little worm. I am the most noble existence. I am a Dragon Lady. Then why don't you turn into a dragon for me to see? Li Fan laughed. Just as Li Fan expected, the Dragon Lady was silent for a moment. Li Fan, you are too presumptuous. The general couldn't help but reprimand Li Fan. You can't do this. The Dragon Lady is different from other sacred beasts. She can't revert to her true form. Oh, there's such a saying? Li Fan clearly didn't believe it. At this moment, a roar came from behind. Rascal, how dare you be rude to the Dragon Lady? Li Fan turned around and saw a 2-meter-tall bald man standing behind him. He had dark skin and a strong body, looking very angry. Brother, who are you? Number 3, don't be presumptuous. The general reprimanded. Only then did Li Fan know the other party's identity. Number 3, according to the 12 zodiac animals, should be Inhu, right? General, this guy is too presumptuous. He actually dares to treat the Dragon Lady like this. If we don't teach him a lesson, he won't understand. Number 3, are you going to disobey orders? General, I'll come back later to receive my punishment. But now I want to teach this bastard a lesson. The burly man couldn't control his anger anymore. The general glanced at the little girl sitting beside him, seemingly wanting her to stop Number 3. A ferocious white tiger leaped over from behind Number 3. It roared and shook the entire room. Oh, Li Fan smiled. You really released a tiger. Idiot, this is a sacred beast. Number 3's temper was clearly not good. He reached out and touched the king character on the tiger's head. Inhu released the seal. Number 3 ordered. The white tiger roared, and its body suddenly began to expand. The originally 2-meter-long tiger had grown into a 3-meter-long beast. Its body was covered in silver steel armor, like a steel giant beast. Stop him, Number 12. Got it. So troublesome. The little girl sighed. She kicked the little white pig that was eating at the side. Release the seal. The little white pig grunted. Its body suddenly began to shrink, but its head continued to expand. Not long later, a huge pig head floated up, floating in the air. Its body and limbs had shrunk to a small size, so small that it couldn't be seen. Pig head meat seems to be quite tasty. The Dragon Lady's words caused the little white pig to panic. Get that tiger out of here, the little girl ordered. Only then did the huge pig head turn around. Its eyes stared at the steel tiger, emitting a blue light. The steel tiger's body also emitted a white light. Then it flew up, waving its claws in the air. Number 12, whose side are you on? The burly man angrily rebuked. None of your business. Number 12 did as he pleased. Forget it. Let him come. The Dragon Lady seemed to want to watch the show. Let me check if this kid has the qualifications to become an Imperial sword. Chapter 1077. Yes, Madam Dragon Lady. This general completely obeyed Dragon Lady's orders. He immediately ordered Number 12. Stop. Troublesome. The lowly sighed. This little lowly was very cute, but compared to Dragon Lady, she was much inferior. This little Dragon Lady was said to have lived for thousands of years, but she was no different from a 14 or 15-year-old girl. However, She could eat a little. She had already eaten half of the food on the table. Tiger, steel impact. Baldy number 3 immediately gave the order after the steel tiger was put down. The steel tiger roared as if it was cheering. Following that, it charged towards Li Fan with an unstoppable force. Li Fan slid out along with the chair. The steel tiger charged out and slammed into the opposite wall. Bang! The wall was directly smashed, but the steel tiger was unscathed. It shook its head and shook off the dust on its body. A large hole was left on the wall, displaying the power of the steel tiger. If it was an ordinary wall, it would be fine if it was smashed. However, the walls here were made of steel, so it was still smashed by the steel tiger. This kind of power, even Li Fan could not help but be moved. The 12 sacred beasts were indeed extraordinary. Tiger, turn around, second attack. Number 3 continued to give the order. The steel tiger roared again and again, charging towards Li Fan. Fight tiger. This time, Li Fan did not dodge. He took a horse stance, and the moment the steel tiger charged in front of him, he directly punched out. Dang! Like an old monk striking a bell, a loud sound shook the cafeteria. As for the steel tiger, it was sent flying and smashed onto the ground. Don't be discouraged. Readjust your posture, get up, and use tiger pounce. Number 3 continued to command. The steel tiger suddenly leaped and pounced towards Li Fan's head. This steel tiger was very huge. When it pounced, the black mass blocked the light. However, Li Fan was not moved at all. He stretched out his hands, grabbed the steel tiger's body, and used the momentum to throw it over his shoulder. Bang! The steel tiger fell heavily to the ground, creating a crater in the floor. The iron tiger fell hard, but he quickly regained his vitality and roared in high spirits. Bring out your spirit. Tiger roar. Number 3 roared furiously. The steel tiger opened its mouth and shot out a white beam of light at Li Fan. Interesting. Li Fan laughed. He also extended his right hand, his left hand holding his right wrist. Tiger cannon. Bang! Jinshi formed into a cannonball and shot out, colliding with a white light from the other party. A wave of energy rippled out, and the surrounding tables and chairs were all sent flying. Meanwhile, the Loli's pig head used her telekinesis to protect Dragon Lady's table, so Dragon Lady continued to eat without being affected. By the time the power spread out, the ferocious steel tiger was sent flying and smashed to the side, letting out a mournful cry. Li Fan, on the other hand, was still standing in the same place. His footsteps did not move. Apparently, he was not affected at all. Only his clothes were stained with some dust. How useless. Dragon Girl sighed. He can't be compared to Enhu from back then. Number 3's face turned red. Enhu charged, then steel tiger blade. Number 3 hurriedly gave the order. The ferocious steel tiger charged over again and suddenly stopped in front of Li Fan. Then, the tail on its back was like a steel whip as it ruthlessly lashed at Li Fan. Spirit snake entanglement. Li Fan did not dodge at all. He stretched out his right hand and directly wrapped it around the tiger's tail, forcefully locking it in place. Speaking of which, I'm also hungry. Can you let me eat something first? As Li Fan spoke, he pulled up the tiger's tail and threw out once again. The ferocious steel tiger turned around in the air. Its 4 limbs stepped on the wall and stood on it, looking at Li Fan. What a tough one. Li Fan could not help but praise. It really is like a tiger forged from steel. All right, enough. Dragon Girl also lost interest. The strength test is almost over. Li Fan, come and eat. She looked at the delicacies on the table and thought for a long time. Finally, she pushed the remaining half of the bun over and placed it in front of Li Fan. Seemingly hesitant, she took out 2 more bun and left the rest for Li Fan. Li Fan was speechless. Can you not be so stingy? General, can you give me a bowl of plain noodles? Prepare it for Major Li. The general took out his walkie-talkie and ordered his guards. Yes, because Dragon Girl had spoken. Number 3 could only obediently stand to the side and retract the power of the ferocious steel tiger. Major? Li Fan was a little puzzled. If it's an imperial sword, there will be a military rank. The general reminded Li Fan. Before becoming an official Imperial sword, you will have the status of Major. If you obtain the official qualifications, you will be promoted to Senior Colonel. It seemed like he would not be able to become a general. Li Fan shrugged his shoulders. Dragon Girl continued to eat her food as if she did not care about any of this. Number 3. Quickly come and apologize to Major Li. General, please forgive me for refusing. Number 3 put his hands behind his back and stood there with his chest out like a standard soldier. I am a lieutenant colonel. My rank is higher than his. I will not apologize to him. Furthermore, he is an eyesore. You are one of the 12 sacred beasts. You have to accept the leadership of the Imperial sword. The general reminded him. Don't make me say it again. Go back and rest. Yes. Number 3 looked at Li Fan with hatred and then went out. It seems like your popularity is very low. Dragon Girl said to Li Fan while gnawing on a chicken leg. I have one more thing to teach you. I don't need a bald man to like me. Li Fan rejected Dragon Girl's good intention. As for the 12 sacred beasts, it doesn't matter if they are willing to listen to me. Oh, you want to do it alone? Dragon Girl asked. No. The corner of Li Fan's mouth raised into a smile. If they don't listen to me, I will just kill them. What Li Fan said was not a joke. After fusing with the heart demon, sometimes his thoughts were very dark. Even Dragon Girl was slightly shocked when she heard it. I thought you were a very righteous person. Dragon Girl looked at Li Fan a few more times. Am I not? Li Fan asked. If that was the case, I would not be sitting here. If it was not to protect the pugilistic world, Li Fan would not be sitting here asking a tiger for its skin. He could just take his belongings and hide in the Li family island. No one could control him. However, Li Fan had a strong sense of responsibility. He probably could not let go of this matter in the pugilistic world. Whether it is love or not, it has nothing to do with me. As long as you do what I ask you to do, it will be fine. This Dragon Girl obviously looked like a lowly, but she liked to speak like an old man. All right, then tell me, what do I need to do? Let's eat first. The noodles seem to be good. Give it to your master. Chapter 1078. Dragon Girl snatched and ate Li Fan's Yangchun noodles. In the end, Li Fan was practically starving as he followed Dragon Girl to train in the training room. After all, it was a base that the government paid for. An underground training room was at least as big as a stadium. This place was usually used by the 12 sacred beasts to train, and no one else used it. At this moment, Lolita was bored to death sitting in a corner of the training room, teasing her pig. Li Fan was following Dragon Girl and undergoing a special training. Sigh, this generation's Shangfang sword is too useless. Dragon Girl sat on the cabinet at the side, eating buns while looking at Li Fan and sighing. How was it useless? Li Fan was a little uncomfortable. I am China's top escort with the strength of a grandmaster. How can I not enter your eyes? If you're not convinced, come down and let's spar. I am not a combat-type hero. Dragon Girl swung her legs and said, Furthermore, after transforming into a human, my strength has greatly decreased. I can't even unleash 1,000th of my strength. Are you kidding? How is it a joke? Dragon Girl said very seriously. Do you think that after a dragon transforms into a human, their strength can still be the same? Think about it. How huge a dragon's body is. Only such a thick and sturdy body can store explosive power. Furthermore, a human body is too weak. After transforming into a human, a large portion of my strength naturally disappeared. Furthermore, Dragon Girl has a curse on her body. Once she transforms into a human, she will never be able to transform back. Curse? Yes, the curse of the 4 sacred beasts. Dragon Girl smiled. Back then, the 4 sacred beasts brought other sacred beasts and wanted to kill all humans for revenge. It was my ancestor, along with the 12 sacred beasts, that killed all the sacred beasts with the help of the Shangfang sword. Before the 4 sacred beasts died, they placed this curse so that my bloodline's Dragon Girl would never be able to return to her dragon form. She would have to live in this world as a human. It's good to be a human. Li Fan comforted. It's the golden ratio. If you don't want to be a dragon, then so be it. Whatever, as long as I can eat delicious food. As Dragoness spoke, she instructed the little lowly, Go, bring me 2 more of that. Or something, chicken drumsticks. Orleans, the little lowly muttered. Yes, Orleans. Give me 2. Forget it. Give me 2 baskets. Hey, why are you looking at me like that? I haven't eaten in years. Can't I be hungry? The little lowly was now completely treated as an errand girl. She was very helpless, but the dragon lady's orders were no different from an imperial edict. As one of the 12 sacred beasts, she obediently went to get food for Dragon Lady. Do you see that? This is the authority of the Dragon Lady. The Dragon Lady said with a smile. Is your power to get people to help you carry chicken legs? Of course. Why not? The Dragon Lady emphasized. Letting others satisfy my needs is the embodiment of authority. Say, don't you have a name? I've long since forgotten. Just call me Dragon Lady. The Dragon Lady licked her fingers. Don't ever call me teacher. I don't have such a useless disciple like you. So what's so useless about me? Li Fan's anger flared up again. Little Dragon Lady, you can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. Compared to the previous swords, you're too weak. You don't believe me? Why don't you try waving the sword? The Dragon Lady said as she threw the sword in front of Li Fan. The sword floated in front of Li Fan, floating up and down, as if it was quietly waiting for him. Don't look down on me. Li Fan sneered. He walked to the front and grabbed the sword, preparing to unsheath it. But for some reason, the sword seemed to be locked. Li Fan pulled, but he couldn't pull it out. What the hell? Li Fan was taken aback as he carefully looked at the sword. Although he knew that the sword was rejecting him, it shouldn't be to this extent, right? What's going on? Li Fan pulled with force, but the sword was still in the scabbard, not moving at all. I told you that you're useless. What kind of person did Wang Luo find? You can't even pull out the sword. The Dragon Lady took the drumstick that the lowly handed to her and ate it while mocking him. Oomph. Li Fan snorted as the true qi in his body filled his entire body. At the same time, the golden flying lion goddess appeared in the air before descending and merging into Li Fan's body. The golden flying lion armor draped over Li Fan's body, strengthening him. Come out. Li Fan roared and pulled out the sword again. The sword still didn't move and was still resisting Li Fan. Anger rose in his heart. Looking at the Dragon Lady's mocking face, Li Fan couldn't help but feel angry. Isn't it just a broken sword? Can't I subdue it? His eyes burst out with light as all the pores on his body closed. The true qi in his body erupted, forming a powerful force. Li Fan's skin turned scarlet red as a golden halo formed behind him. Clang! The sword let out a sorrowful cry as it was pulled out of the scabbard by Li Fan. The Dragon Lady's eyebrows twitched. A mere sword actually dares to not obey me. Li Fan roared angrily. He used his 5 fingers, and with a bang, he crushed the dragon-shaped scabbard of the sword, revealing the golden sword body inside. The sword kept trembling in Li Fan's hand, as though it was afraid and wanted to escape from Li Fan's hand. Li Fan's unparalleled mode could only be activated for about 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, the sword broke free from Li Fan's hand and flew to the Dragon Lady's side. And the scattered pieces of the scabbard reformed around the sword. A complete Shangfang sword floated there, as though proving its strength. What the hell? Li Fan was dumbfounded. What the hell? He used all his strength and still couldn't subdue a sword? See, it's not working. The Dragon Lady put away her shocked expression and changed it to a sneer. Obediently accept my teachings. Do you understand? Got it. Li Fan lowered his head while the Dragon Lady heaved a sigh of relief. This Li Fan is a bit powerful. Just now, she used her unique water ability to lock the sword. Who would have thought that it would still be pulled out by Li Fan? This guy seems like he's really not ordinary. Shangfang sword has an ability called Return Sword. The Dragon Lady pretended to be calm and then quickly changed the topic. Because this sword is entrusted with the power of every generation, the user can temporarily borrow this power. And if the Shangfang sword doesn't accept you, there's no way to borrow it. Li Fan clearly remembered Wang Luo's appearance when she used her turn sword. He could not forget it. You have to learn how to use the Shang Fong sword first. Come, practice swinging the sword 100 times. With that, the dragon lady flicked the Shang Fong sword in front of Li Fan. Chapter 1079. Li Fan held the Shang Fong sword together with its scabbard. This sword was very heavy in his hand. Li Fan felt as if he was holding an iron tower. Swing it 100 times? Li Fan's body was filled with true qi as he easily lifted the sword. You are not allowed to use true qi. The dragon girl immediately reprimanded. If you use true qi, you will lose the meaning of training. Fine. Li Fan had no choice but to disperse the true qi in his body. As soon as the true qi dispersed, the weight of the sword also pressed down. Li Fan's hand was a little unable to hold it. His arm was extremely heavy. According to the dragon girl, this sword was made from her scales. Just how heavy was this woman's scales? Young man, practice well. Although you're not very useful, you can always improve a little. He lifted the sword bit by bit, and the muscles on his body seemed to be wailing. If it wasn't for the fact that Li Fan had trained his muscles well and that some true qi had already grown in his flesh, he really wouldn't be able to lift this sword. This sword was too heavy, like a small mountain. Li Fan spent a lot of effort to lift the sword above his head. If he was not careful, the sword might fall and split him into two halves. But since it was training, he would train to the end. Li Fan also held his breath. Fuck, I can't let this gluttonous dragon girl look down on me. Li Fan controlled his strength as his muscles trembled. He slowly swung the sword down and then stopped in front of him. In the end, Li Fan really couldn't hold it anymore. The sword flew out of his hand and slashed into the ground, and his arm was still trembling uncontrollably. I already said that you were useless. Look, you can't even swing it once. The dragon girl was eating and drinking while mocking him. Li Fan didn't want to argue. He used his true qi to adjust his body, allowing his muscles to recover faster. This kind of adjustment method could be considered as cheating. How's your recovery? Not bad. Li Fan rubbed his shoulders. I think it would be better if I could have a full meal before practicing. Then go ahead and eat. Who stopped you from eating? You obviously stole my food and ate it. Okay? Li Fan glared at her. Really? The dragon girl was puzzled. No, there's so much food here. You can eat as much as you want. Then give me a drumstick. Li Fan glanced at the New Orleans drumsticks in a basket next to him. How? How can this be? Dragoness covered the basket and looked warily at Li Fan. This is my food. I can't waste it. What does giving me one have to do with you wasting it? Li Fan could not help but ask. It's a big deal. The dragon lady emphasized. These are all offerings to me. Of course, it would be a waste to give them to others. I'm drunk. Li Fan really had no choice but to continue training in silence. At this time, Lolita came over and raised a drumstick in her hand. For me. That's right, Uncle. Lolita looked as if she had seen through the world of mortals. It was originally for pigs. Seeing that you're too hungry, you eat it. Li Fan angrily took the drumstick. If he was not too hungry, he would not accept this humiliating drumstick. Li Fan wolfed down the drumstick. In just a few bites, he finished the drumstick. Damn, I've never eaten such a delicious drumstick. I'm too hungry. Li Fan finished the drumstick. When he wiped his hands, he noticed that the dragon girl was looking at him angrily as if he just stole her food. Fuck, this woman. Li Fan shook his head. He wiped his hands and continued to train. Becoming an imperial sword was the only way for him to stay in Huaxia. The general had already gone to greet the school. Li Fan did not even need to take credits. He was a day student and unconditionally retained his student status. After 4 years, he would automatically graduate. With the government backing him, it felt different. Li Fan was angry again. During this period of time, the pugilistic world was in turmoil. Li Fan had been busy training in the military. Not bad. You've already swung it 20 times today. Dragon Maiden looked at the panting Li Fan and gave him a rare compliment as she ate the fried chicken steak. Fuck, do you only know how to eat every day? Li Fan was half-naked with the Overlord, subduing the tiger, painting floating on his back. He was also sweating profusely. He glanced at the dragon lady beside him and could not help but mock her. "I'm busy training you." The dragon lady's petite figure would not gain weight no matter how much she ate, let alone grow taller. "You won't grow taller if you only eat. Bastard." She would not get angry no matter how he mocked her. But today, Li Fan's words angered her. "I'm still in my childhood. I haven't even grown yet." "You're still in your childhood? How old are you?" "Over 1,000 years old." "Over 1,000 years old in childhood? Are you kidding me? Do you know how long we dragons live?" The dragon lady rolled her eyes at Li Fan. "Living for 10 or 20,000 years is not a problem." Li Fan raised his sword and asked, "Aren't you bored after living for so long?" "I'm bored. That's why I sleep most of the time. When I wake up, I'm in charge of training you idiots. As for you, you're the stupidest person I've ever met." How many days did Wang Luo take to swing his sword 100 times? Let me think. When his master threw him to me, he was only a little older than you. This kid is quite talented. The Shang Fong sword accepted him immediately, so he doesn't need this kind of special training. "Fuck me," Li Fan said. "This is really unfair." "All right, don't think about other people. Train your sword well." The dragon lady seemed to have finally eaten her fill and yawned. "After 10 days, if you still don't reach the standard, I'll give up on you." She lay on the cushion at the side and began to be lazy. "After all, I'm quite sleepy." This unscrupulous dragon girl. Did she resurrect just to watch him swing his sword while eating delicious food? There's still 10 days left. If he practiced according to his routine, it would be impossible for him to reach 100 swords. Li Fan kept feeling that he still has something that he has not grasped. Although he gained some strength from swinging the sword like this, compared to his powerful true chi, it's just a drop in the bucket. The power of a human's body is limited, but the power of true chi is limitless. Li Fan felt that in terms of muscles, he has already reached a limit. There must be another way. Otherwise, the dragon lady would not have set such a short time. The dragon lady leaned on the cushion and slept soundly. Sleeping after eating. She should not be the dragon lady. She should be the pig queen. Li Fan cursed before sitting down cross-legged. He stared at the Shang Fong sword in front of him and thought of a countermeasure. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.